Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, October 13th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Stanford Cardinal versus the Colorado Buffaloes, a Pac-12 Friday night matchup on Friday the 13th. Hop in the room and join your boy for the last college football game of the night. We are just wrapping up the game that they have on now with Tulane, and it's just about to wrap up. There's about a minute left, and then this game was actually supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but this Tulane matchup ended up going a little bit longer with Memphis. Tulane 31, Memphis 21. It's on ESPN. So turn it on your computer through the ESPN.com through the app itself, or if you got cable or any type of satellite provider. And I already know Colorado, Shedeur Sanders, we already know what's going to happen. They're going to end up blowing out Stanford. But if it's a Pac-12 matchup, I'm going to grind. And then obviously this will give me a little bit of anticipation as we go into the Oregon Ducks versus the Washington Huskies at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. I am very excited. I already knew that we were going to beat Colorado. I feel that we're going to beat USC and Austin. But if we were going to lose a game this year or two, this one I have circled on the calendar. It's definitely going to be very, very tough to win. I would assume the Huskies should be favored at home. It's going to take a magnificent performance from the Oregon Duck offensive line and defense to knock off Michael Penix Jr. and the Huskies. And then the only other game I think I'm really worried about besides USC might be Oregon State at the end of the year. The Beavers are playing some quality football, so I'm not going to take them for granted either, but I feel everyone else on the schedule, we should be able to win. But the Huskies, the Trojans, and the Beavers, those will be the main matchups to really decide if we're going to be going to the Pac-12 championship, if we're going to actually overachieve and be in the running for the college football playoff in a few more weeks, or if we're going to end up being a team that ends up losing a couple games, which I figure that would be very possible. I figured the Ducks would finish in third or fourth in the Pac-12 this year, but we have a legitimate shot to finish in first or second or possibly third. Number 8, Oregon Ducks. Number 7, Washington Huskies. 12:30 Pacific time. I will be live, and we're going to have a fantastic time. Big facts. Daniel's in the building. What's good? Odinson with a $7 dono. That was a few hours ago to kind of get us going, so I appreciate that. Sarah with a 3-er. Now we're at 10, 90 to go. Good start to get the stream going, and hopefully we end up having a good matchup. Odinson, my boy. I doubt he's even in the – I don't even know if he'll show up tonight. It'd already be pretty late. I mean, it's already 10:15, 10:18 in New York. But I wanted to make sure that we showed the proper love. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $7. Appreciate you. Sarah with a 3-er. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $3 holla. We're at 10. Let's get to a hundo. Absolutely. 90 to go. Yeah, and that's another reason why I'm here as well. Anytime it's Shedeur Sanders, Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, I'm going to Cameron Rising once he gets healthy. Like I'm going to be here for the Pac-12 matchups. I mean, obviously, I like watching the Big Ten and the SEC like everyone else, but when you're a part of a conference which is in its last year, the Pac-12, I want to soak in. Every good matchup, every good player, even though this matchup isn't necessarily a great matchup, we know Stanford is going to lose this game and it could get ugly. But if I can see a little bit of Travis Hunter, since Colorado State had that dirty hit, on Travis Hunter, I was not able to see him play, against my Oregon Ducks. I saw him on the sideline and I saw him, kind of hanging out and talking with the rest of the team, but that's not the same. For one of the, best players on the team besides Shedeur Sanders, a guy that can play corner and wide receiver. And I would assume, he'll be on a limited snap count, but it'll be cool to be able to see him out there. Big facts. Let's go, baby. Matt in the building, Sarah in the building, and hopefully we'll get a few people coming through. I imagine I will be the only one on YouTube calling this game. It's already kind of late, 7:20 here, 9:20 if you're in the Midwest, 10:20 if you're on the East Coast. So But anytime I can, evaluate talent like a Shedeur Sanders, hell, Tampa Bay might be looking at a Shedeur Sanders. The Atlanta Falcons will be looking at Shedeur Sanders. There's going to be a lot of teams that will be drafting probably somewhere between 15 and 30 in the first round that will highly consider possibly drafting Shedeur Sanders in the first round or in the early second round, depending if he slips in the draft. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes, if you slip a little bit in the draft and you don't go in the top 5 picks, maybe, you go somewhere like 15 through 30, you could end up on a playoff team, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or a team that could be a playoff team once they get rid of Desmond Ridder. Insert Shedeur Sanders, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Kind of sounds sexy, don't it? I know I would watch. So that's why I'm here tonight, and I'm definitely rooting for Shedeur to dominate the rest of the season. Big facts. SmackDown was good. Oh, good to hear. That's good to hear. Yeah, it's been a little rainy, but I got a chance to get a couple walks in with Paisley. It's pouring down rain now in Oregon, so I can't do anything until this game is going to be over probably 10:30, which will be like 12:30 or 1:30. But again, the only thing I got to get ready for is the Ducks and the Huskies, and then we'll do a Duck reaction, to that game after the game is over. Then we're going to do I'll watch morning games. Then we're going to do the Buccaneers and the Lions at 1. And then we won't do Sunday night with the Bills and the Giants because we already know the Bills are going to win by 1 billion. And then I'll just do reaction videos the rest of the night to kind of get me caught up from doing the Lions and the Bucks. So we'll do the Lions and Bucks reaction, and then I'll do probably 5 or 6 or 7 reaction videos after the game is over while Sunday night football is going on. Then I'll pump out another 5 or 6 on Monday. We'll do Monday Night Football, another 5 or 6 on Tuesday, maybe sprinkle in some college football as well, and then we'll be there. And it looks like the game has started. Let's flip it over. Come on now. What channel is that on? They're showing it. I'm on the ESPN. Let me go back. Let me see if I can actually catch it because it looks like, unless they're just making me wait until it is over. Oh, now it's trying to get me to watch the Laker game. No. All right, hold up. All right, I think I just have to wait for it to finish, and then they're going to click it over because I'm watching it on ESPN.com through my cable provider, not through a link. So 1 sec here, and then I assume that we have like 50 seconds to go. So, but they're kind of doing a split screen. Oh, Stanford off to a good start. Wow, first down, Cardinal. All right, 3 seconds left. 2, 1, switch it over. Justin Lamson, switch it over. Judah in the building. One of my new favorites. How are you, brother? All right, so they're just doing the split screen action right now. First down and 10. And hopefully they can just be like, all right, Tulane, Memphis, no one really gave a shit about this game anyways. Everyone is watching college football tonight because of your boy and the Colorado Buffaloes. And it doesn't matter that I'm an Oregon fan. I'm a fan of Dion. I'm a fan of Colorado. I'm a fan of Shedeur Sanders. I'm a fan of Shiloh. I'm a fan of Travis Hunter. I'm a fan of greatness. So let's go. All right, here we go, baby. 1-4, Stanford Cardinal, not Cardinals. All right, Colorado Buffaloes 4-2. Their defense is a little suspect, but hopefully they can end up playing a little bit of D tonight. And I'm expecting a lot of offensive swagger and an explosion of points. I'm hoping Colorado gets 40 plus, and I assume Stanford will get 20 or less. So that's where I'm thinking. I'm thinking, 13 to 20 points for Stanford. Not saying that they're terrible, but they are 1-4. And then for Colorado, 40 plus points. And on the low end, I'm thinking 31. But I'm thinking it should be 40 plus. I mean, fuck, if you can't put up 40 on a team that's 1-4, that's terrible, that Oregon, demolished. I mean, come on, bro. All right, here we go. Third down and 10. Get him. Floater. Ooh, incomplete. My Ducks jersey. What the funny thing is I'm a Duck fan through and through, and I'm always going to keep it real. I'm not biased. I feel I'm the least biased sports fan or YouTuber or streamer on planet Earth. I'm a big Duck fan through and through, but I predict that the Huskies are going to win tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong. But Michael Penix Jr., as long as there's no serious injuries, I think it could go down to the wire. We deserved to beat them last year, but Bo Nix got hurt. It's going to take a magnificent performance to beat them. I think we could, but if I'm just keeping it real, my gut initial feeling is that we may lose 37-34 or something of that nature where it's like back and forth, whoever has the football kind of towards the end. But if we end up winning, hell, that would be awesome. But I don't assume that we will. But I think that the three tough games are going to be obviously the Huskies, this one coming up tomorrow, number one. I think USC will be somewhat close, but we should be able to beat them, but we could also lose that one. And then Oregon State at the end of the year. Those are the three that I have circled on the calendar for kind of trap games. And obviously this Washington one on the road is going to be by far the toughest. To me, they're a better team than USC because USC doesn't have a defense. You know what I mean? Like they can still put up points like Oregon and Washington, but Oregon, Washington, and Oregon State's defenses are better. So, USC, I don't know if they're going to go undefeated all year, especially if UW plays them. I would assume UW will be able to beat them. We don't play them until November, so we'll see. But I think that we'll have a very, very good chance to be able to prove that we are better than USC. And then, obviously Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., they might have the best quarterback in the number one pick in Caleb Williams. But I think Michael Penix Jr. And Bo Nix, they have more of a quality team from top to bottom. I think our defenses are a little bit better. But if USC goes on an explosion of points and Washington and Oregon's D doesn't play good, they play below average, then of course USC could win the whole thing. They can win the Pac-12 and make it to the college football playoff. But everything that I've seen in every game that I've watched is that the offense is amazing. Caleb looks like the number one pick, but the defense is very, very shaky. And I thought Oregon was going to have a shaky offense, defense at times, but they've actually been better on offense than I expected, and actually way better on defense as well. Big facts. Yeah, it wouldn't be OU, it'd be U of O, right? That's what we do out here, obviously. It would be just Ducks, U of O, right? Because OU looks like Oklahoma. Third down and 11. But most people that wouldn't assume that I would say that, but I just try to keep it real because I follow so many teams. I'm not biased, do I want the Ducks to win? Of course. I wouldn't be wearing the goddamn chain and all the fucking gear, wearing my Black Mamba jersey if I didn't, think we had a chance. But if I'm just going to, take a prediction tonight, I would assume the Huskies will win barely, Now, if it was an Autzen, then I would probably say Oregon. But since we are going to be on the road, that harsh environment, that's going to be pretty tough. There we go. Go, Shador. Go, go, go. Yeah. First down, Buffaloes. Move the chains. Let's go, baby. Travis Hunter back. Shador Sanders giving me that juice, even though it's already getting kind of late. Let's go, baby. Time to get some points. But you know what? I hope I'm wrong. It's just like with the Lions and the Buccaneers. I assume the Lions are going to win and the Huskies are going to win. Now, does Tampa Bay have a shot to win wearing the creamsicles at home? Of course. I'll be wearing my Doug Williams creamsicle. Of course. I think that they have a chance. I think that those teams are very close, just like the Huskies and Ducks. But my initial gut feeling, without being biased, if I was not a Buccaneer fan or not a Duck fan, I'm just looking at the outside in, I would assume the Lions with a slight edge against the Bucks, and then the Huskies with a slight edge, over the Ducks. So, we'll see. I hope that the Buccaneers and Ducks both win. Then it'll be probably the best weekend of my life. But if they both lose, you're not going to hear me crying, bitching, and moaning, Let's go, Colorado. Second down and 5. And I like to be able to evaluate talent. That's probably my favorite thing to do besides reading, about the, sports teams and doing NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, NHL, NASCAR, everything, right? But I love watching film and breaking down talent in high school and college football specifically. So that way I know who the studs are before they get to the NFL, and that'll make my ESP and my predictions come true even more. And you never know. Shador Sanders could end up in the NFC South. I think it's possible. Shador, go, baby, go. I think Buccaneers, could be interested if there's an opening there, in the late first round if he slides. If he doesn't, then maybe like the Atlanta Falcons. I think that would be probably the most natural fit. Go to where your dad, got drafted and played. They would love him. And I know the scouts obviously have met up with Dion, and Dion's like, you need to draft both of my sons, Shiloh and Shador. So that would be crazy. I don't know how good Shiloh's going to be in the NFL, but Shador's going to be Very good. Touchdown, Buffaloes. Let's go. Hell yeah. Xavier Weaver with a 9-yard tutty, baby. And you already know what I did with the thumb, baby. Shadow Sanders, baby. Let's go. Nice job. Extra point is up. And it's good. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I love Pac 12 football. Thanks a lot, Pac 12 commissioner, for being greedy. Now I never get to enjoy the Pac 12 ever again. Now, I am excited to be able to join the Big Ten. But you have to understand, for someone like us, that live out here in the Pacific Northwest, right? We knew even back in the day that we were never going to win a fucking natty, not against the Big Ten and the SEC. So dreams for us, as kids growing up was like, I hope we go to the Rose Bowl against like Michigan or Ohio State, and I hope we can win. That's like the goal for us as kids. That's our Super Bowl, here on the West Coast. Unless you're like a USC team with like Reggie Bush or something of that nature with Pete Carroll being there, then that team actually could have won a championship. But, Oregon's had a couple chances, and obviously the Mariota against Ohio State, I knew we were going to lose that one by a shitload. No disrespect to my Ducks, but I knew we were outmatched. But that championship game when we went undefeated with Chip Kelly, when we played Cam Newton Auburn, that was ours. If that guy doesn't catch that football and that running back doesn't roll on that other defender's back and knee doesn't go down and gets those extra yards to end up winning that game, Oregon should be national champions from that team in 2010. I got the LaMichael, James jersey. This chain is linked to that as well. But that's my opinion. That was the only one that we would have won, and I think we deserved to win. But every other big game that we've been in, we didn't deserve to win. Like obviously with Mariota and the Ducks going against Ohio State, but we've gotten a couple Rose Bowls against Wisconsin, which we beat Russell Wilson. That one felt really good. First time we won the Rose Bowl in like 100 years. That was sweet. That was one of the best Duck victories in my life. I remember that very, very clearly. And then the other one where we won with Justin Herbert, coincidentally, against Wisconsin, that one felt good too. We're not going to ever probably win a natty anytime in the near future, but it could be a dream of mine, to be able to see a Mariner, obviously championship before I die, a Blazer championship before I die, and an Oregon Duck championship. I've already gotten 2 Buccaneer championships, so I'm good there. But I would love to see the Mariners, the Blazers, but specifically Mariners and probably Ducks, because I know I'm not going to get it with the Blazers, and they won it with Bill Walton, in '77. So whatever. That was a few years before I was born. But if I could see a Blazer championship, cool. But I would rather see it with the Ducks and Seattle with the Mariners. That would mean more for me. So. Oh, okay. There we go. That's good. Elliot in the building. What's good, brother? Let's get to 20 likes, and then hopefully we can get to 30. Shador not leaving college this year. Well, that's the rumor, because obviously his dad wants to try to have him be the number 1 pick in the draft. But as you go into the following year, there's going to be another set of quarterbacks that are going to be up there as well. I mean, Arch Manning in a few years, but we'll see. We'll see. And then obviously, doing his celebration, he definitely needs to get a watch deal through like Rolex. I know Dion has pull, he has swag, and they might as well get the deal done with Rolex. I know wearing a Rolex at a game or putting it on after the game, so be it. But I mean, you shouldn't be doing that shit for free. That's a big fact. You're working on the anime? Nice. Yeah, Stanford Cardinal, not Cardinals. Very, very weird. Yep, I agree. I hope I'm wrong about the Ducks tomorrow, but everyone that thinks that if I don't agree with them, that I'm like doing a personal attack. But like, ask yourself this: out of anyone that you've ever watched on TV or podcast or YouTube or Twitch, I mean, who honestly calls it more down the middle than me? I'll still have my favorite teams and favorite players, but I never will take my team if I really don't think that they're going to win. What? I'm just supposed to take my team no matter what, even though I know I'm going to lose, or they're is a gut feeling that I'm going to lose. I got to keep it honest, and that's really what separates, I feel, me from everyone else, because everyone else will take their team no matter what. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Tampa Bay versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, Tampa. No, Tampa Bay, versus the Niners. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be real with it. So a lot of people have a hard time doing that. So, Shameless, you got back on it. Good to hear. Oh, I know Arch has got a ways to go, but obviously with his name and everything, and obviously not beating out Quinn Ewers. Nice hit. Obviously that says something. Nice job, Shiloh. Yeah, you got to give Arch a few years, like by the time he's a junior or senior. Reflect in the building. Yeah, it's cool to reflect. I got you guys winning tomorrow, so if I was completely biased, I feel like if you look at my opinions, other people will copy the opinions that I do as well because I think a lot of people think kind of similar. If you're a fan of a team like the Hawks and you think you're better than the Lions, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, really, the difference between the Seahawks, Bucks, and Lions is what? It's so marginal. Like you could literally put any of those in the pecking order ahead. But I try to look for the long term future of like the rest of the season and how the season is going to go. And to me, the Lions are a better team long term than my Buccaneers or your Seahawks. That's just how I feel, And you'll see other media outlets, I feel, think that same way. And it's not that they hate on the Seahawks; they just see the balance on the O line and the D line for the Lions. It just seems like they're a better team, even though you beat them one on one. One on one doesn't mean shit to me. It means a lot to you, but it doesn't mean shit to me. I look at the quality of the product every single game, moving forward, and then the future of the rest of the season. But again, if you like that one-on-one matchup and you're like, we beat them, we're better. I totally respect you and I get it. But I don't evaluate my picks that way. If like I said, I could beat the Lions by 20, and I'm not going to say that the Buccaneers are better long term. Not going to do it. You know, that's just, everyone evaluates talent a little differently, but I don't hold on to those one-on-one matchups as strongly as you or other people. I look at it as every single game, every single quarter, every single matchup the rest of the year, every single game up to that point besides that one-on-one matchup. How has that team looked? How is that team perceived by globally? The national media, myself, is what do I see with the eye test? And some stats and analytics may reflect that the Seahawks are better, but until they get a better O-line or D-line, I can't pick them. I like balance in football, and obviously we know the Niners and the Eagles are the top two teams in football. Why? Balance, balance, balance. Who's the third best team in the NFL that has balance? It's the Detroit Lions. Fumble. U of O. Yeah. I'm more stats and analytics than anybody on fucking planet Earth. That's all I do. All I do is read and watch film every day. That's literally all I do, or spend like 6 hours on the goddamn fantasy app. But I'm always looking at balance, because you got to have O line, D line, defense coaching, play calling. That's the most important thing in football for me. It's not quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. That shit is irrelevant to me. It's O line, D line, defense coaching, play calling. That's what matters. No, you can't have a dog shit quarterback, running back, wide receiver, or tight end, but I just don't think that those positions carry as much weight as O-line, D-line, defense coaching, and play calling. Because you could have average quarterback, average wide receivers, average running back, average tight end, but if you have elite O-line, D-line, defense coaching, play calling, then your team actually will be much better than just having a lot of star pieces in the, skill position players, and then dog shit line, dog shit play calling, dog shit coach, because otherwise then you'd be talking about like the Dallas Cowboys or certain teams that don't have all the pieces. Their defense is good, but the O-line and obviously with Dak, not so much. Colorado 7, Stanford 0. Floater, he's got a man. Oh, what happened to my hands? No, it's good though, reflect. I respect it. You know what I mean? It shows you how your brain works and how my brain works. It's not like I'm right and you're wrong, or you're right and I'm wrong. We all have our opinions on how we like things, how we gauge on how good of a team really is. But for me, like I said, I don't do it based off just my team is my team. Like I said, we could end up beating the Lions tomorrow by 20, and I still won't say that we're better than the Lions long term the rest of the year. I won't do it because I honestly feel that we aren't. So, but every other Buck fan on planet Earth will. They'll be like, yeah, we beat the Lions by 20. We're the third best team in the NFC. But if I say that, I mean, how many people are going to agree with that? Honestly, even if we beat the Lions by 20, you think anyone is going to say, oh, Tampa Bay is the third best team behind the fucking Eagles and the 49ers? Fuck no. No one's going to say that. I mean, even if Baker goes for 3 or 4 touchdowns and no picks, I still couldn't say it. I still think that we're going to be one of the top 5 teams in the NFC, but I just don't think, and then obviously with the Ducks and the Huskies, it might be a little bit closer too. I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I would assume the Huskies will win at home, and I assume that Jared Goff and the Goffense will find a way to beat my Bucks. Mike Evans is cleared, but he does have a hammy. So if he ends up aggravating that early in the first quarter, I'm fucked. So I feel that our O-line and our defense is pretty damn good, but like I said, it's tit for tat. And Seahawks, Lions, and Bucks are all right there, but we're nowhere near the Niners or the Eagles. So, but everyone's got their own vibe and opinion. Let's go, baby. 7-0 Buffaloes. But I hope the Ducks win. I mean, this is the biggest game. I mean, in 100-year history, the Ducks and the Huskies have never been ranked in the top 10 at the same time playing each other, let alone undefeated. So this is like a big, big deal because either one, obviously Michael Penix Jr. is a legit Heisman candidate. Bo Nix is not. As far as for me, just like looking at the players and whatnot. One guy could be a good NFL player. The other guy could be like a Baker Mayfield, but he'd have to get on the right team in the right situation with the right offensive line, the right coordinator, the right defense. Bo Nix is going to need a lot more help than someone like a Michael Penix Jr. who looks like he could be the next Tua. In my opinion, I think he could be better, and that's saying something. So I hope I'm wrong there. I hope the Ducks win, and maybe my sports karma will let us win by me actually saying the Huskies are going to win, and then I got the Lions beating the Bucks. But I really, really hope we can find a way to squeak out a 3-point win against the Lions with my Buccaneers and a 3-point win against the Huskies. If that ends up happening, man, I don't know what I would do. It'd probably be my best weekend that I've ever had in a long, long time. Big fact. Yeah, but the thing is you're a hater, though, right? You're a hater. You think Baker will fold. If Baker was going to fold, he would have folded already. And when you play the Eagles, 99% of the fucking teams are going to lose the Eagles. Get a better take. That's terrible. All right. Baker actually has been one of the best quarterbacks on third down. Now, did I believe in him going into the season? No. But he's proven he's a good decision maker. He's not in the same category as like a fucking Jimmy G, and that's what you're acting like he is. And if we end up playing solid teams, we can beat pretty much anybody in the NFL besides the Eagles and the Niners. We can compete. Our O-line is good. Our defense is good. You know what I mean? So, you can have your opinion, but that's a terrible take. Go back into the den and go on Google and the internet and find a better take, and then you can come back and come talk to me. Hey, Casey, enough of you. First down, Buffaloes. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, you can look at the opponents. You know what I mean? But I'm just telling you, like, why do you think the Seahawks aren't in anybody's top 5 on any platform? Why do you think that is? Reflect. You'll get Seahawk people, and you'll get people in the Pacific Northwest. But how come not one media outlet, not one, CBS, Fox, Pat McAfee show, any outlet that's out there, and I don't watch any of these other outlets, right? But how come not one outlet has the Seahawks in the top 5? They want the story. Is that what it is? Or is maybe the Lions are the better team? O-line and D-line are a big part of it, and obviously O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling, you know. That's my personal opinion. You guys had a great story last year with the Seahawks with Geno. It's not like I think people hate the Seahawks. They're rooting for you guys. But again, if you're looking at all sides of the football, you got DK, you got, Jackson Smith-Njigba and Lockett. But have they played better than Amon-Ra St. Brown? And the offense that you're seeing with Montgomery, like, have they played that much better to leapfrog Detroit? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? You can say it's a national media thing, but no one has been on the Detroit Lions at all, besides the time where they actually got good. And at the end of the last year, in those last few games where they actually played kind of like a playoff team and then knocked off the Packers from making the playoffs. So it's not like I think it's a bandwagon thing. It's just that they're legit finally good after 20 plus years. I mean, I've been waiting 20 years to talk about them. It's not like I've been talking about the fucking Detroit Lions every fucking week, every fucking day for the last 7 years, you know? Well, we'll agree to disagree, right? We'll agree to disagree, all right? But until the national media, anybody has Seattle in the top 5, then there's a reason, There would be at least one outlet if they thought Detroit and Tampa were close, that they would be like, okay, I'm going to do a hot take, and I'm going to put Seattle in the top 5 or Tampa. But no one's doing it. They got, who do they got? They got the Niners, they got the Eagles, they got the Chiefs, even though they look kind of like a pretender. They got the Dolphins, and they got the Lions. And I don't give a shit what ESPN, Fox Sports, Pat McAfee show, Good Morning Football, all those motherfuckers do. I do it based on what I think. I don't look at see what someone else says or does and then, copy what they do. Get out of there, Shador. Oh, incomplete. Yeah, and obviously, tit for tat. I mean, okay, let's say like the Eagles and the Niners are both 10s, right? Well, the Lions are what, 8.1? Seahawks and Tampa Bay are 8.0. I mean, we're really, going tit for tat for nothing. Like, there's like a very, very slight difference between the third, fourth, and fifth team. But the bottom line is that none of those 3 teams can beat Philadelphia or San Fran, as far as being long-term successful and actually being a championship contender. Can we all be playoff teams? Yes. You know what I mean? But I don't think that any of the 3 could get to that status of the Niners or the Eagles unless they have significant injuries, and then we will all be even. But that would mean that, like, Fletcher Cox goes down, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith go down. Niners lose George Kittle. Maybe they lose Talanoa Hufanga or Fred Warner. Then we can be all kind of in the mix. So it's over the color, not the bird. Right. And that's why the bird is not, the logo. It's the tree. Because the thing is that you can beat an opponent one-on-one, right? Right. Oh, nice spin move. Hit him with a spin cycle. Go, go, go. Touchdown, Buffaloes. Because they don't look into the one-on-one matchup as much as you. You know what I mean? It's like, the Astros could beat the Mariners, but we're not necessarily going to be, they're so much better. It's like a matchup means something to the individual, but a lot of times it's looking at, the full body of the team, every single position, that you have, O-line, D-line, special teams, the coach, the whole 9 yards. And then also looking at every single game that's played up to this point, and then looking forward, like for the rest of the season, what is the likelihood that this team is going to be better than this team, moving forward? And I think that's where the opinions come across. Because I don't think anyone thinks, including myself, that the Seahawks or the Buccaneers are going to be better than the Lions long term. They legit look like the 3rd best team in the NFC. Hell, the Lions could probably beat anybody in the fucking AFC, honestly. Can they lose to the Seahawks or play an NFC team and lose? Yes, right? But they're good enough to hang with the Chiefs or the Dolphins, or the Bills, in my opinion. This year. In years past, no. But this year, yes. So that's how I see it. 14-0, Buffaloes, Travis Hunter, baby. But the thing is, Reflect, if you weren't a Seattle Seahawks fan, right? If you weren't a Seahawks fan, do you honestly think that you would say Seahawks still? Like, think about that for just a second. If you weren't Seahawks, didn't live in the Pacific Northwest, and you're just not a fan of the Seahawks, you're not a fan of the Lions, do you really think that you would still say Seattle? Like, undeniably. Okay, because then you're hanging on the one-on-one matchup. That's what it is. That's the most important thing to you, is that you beat them, so you're better. and nothing else matters. Correct? Because that's how you're portraying it, right? That you beat them, so that means that I'm better because we won that one game, right? $5 holla. And I'm not trying to get you to flip your pick. Good for you, in that way of thinking, because everyone thinks in sports differently. But, I just have to disagree, and like I said, I look at sports a little bit differently. You're smart. I'm smart. You have opinion. I have an opinion, and we will see at the end of the year who will be right, if it's me or you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. And we can't predict injuries, too. So if someone gets hurt, like Kenneth Walker III or David Montgomery or something, or Amon Ra or DK, then everything goes out the window, right? Because obviously injuries can affect everything, but we can't predict them. Let's go, baby. Bang, bang. $5 holla. But obviously, it's not just because, I grew up rooting for the Niners and the Lions. Like, if you just look at what Detroit has been able to bring, I don't know. I think that they could match up with Miami, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Kansas City hasn't looked impressive. Miami doesn't have a defense. They can score a lot on offense. They're kind of like USC. That's kind of a good comparison. Miami Dolphins are the USC Trojans of college football and in the NFL. And then Buffalo, I feel, is the best team in the AFC, but they got beat by the Jags. But that doesn't mean I'm going to say the Jags are better than Buffalo long term. Buffalo had those injuries, and I feel that that's going to hurt them. But, the Jacksonville Jaguars may end up beating Buffalo, Kansas City, Miami. It wouldn't shock me either. So we will see. You've been following since 2019, but you haven't been here since 2019. Because if you've been here since 2019, then you would have known that, bro. That's years ago. Years. And sometimes you can have good chemistry with someone on the microphone, but that doesn't mean we're best friends. Just like Mike and Mike, on Sports Talk, Mike and Frank on American Pickers. There's just a lot of times where you can have good chemistry, on the microphone together. But again, it's all about work ethic, right? And actually being able to put in the time and the energy to make your dreams come true. And it really was it was my dream, and he was along the ride for it. But again, he's like, you can't leave at halftime, and expect me to give you donos when you're not here. Why would I do that? If I'm working throughout all the games and then you're just wanting to pick and choose when you want to work, you can't grow a YouTube channel that way. So we're always going to get sucked back in because you're always going to say Seahawks, and I'll always disagree. Because like I said, I think that it's close. But again, like if I'm a Buck fan, and then we beat the Lions by 20, and then that based off that 1-on-1, why wouldn't I say the Buccaneers are better than the Lions? It's like the Jags beating the Bills. It's the same type of thing. The Jags are the Seattle Seahawks, right? The Bills are the Lions. So the one-on-one matchup happened, but does anyone in there, does anyone really feel that the Jaguars are going to be better than Buffalo the rest of the season? Or maybe go further? Is it possible that the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Seahawks overachieve and do it? Yes, absolutely. But clearly, at this point, to me, Buffalo and Detroit are the better teams now, even if they lost to a really good team that might be lower in the pecking order. Does that make sense? Yeah, but we can't go based off last year. Last year is last year. That shit don't matter. We're talking about this year. It's a new team. It's a new vibe. What you did last year is last year. What's going on this year is this year. Uncle Mo and momentum doesn't shift over from the year before. But do you see what I'm saying there? Because I feel the Jacksonville Jaguars beating the Bills in London, even though you ended up beating Detroit in Detroit, to me, it's not as big of a deal. I get it why you're making it a big deal, right? Because it's a big, significant win, not only at home, but in their house. That's a big deal. But you say body of work, I say body of work, and we look at things differently. So I totally disagree. See, that's like a Seattle Seahawk comment to me. That's like very Seahawk heavy comment. What I'm saying? Because I don't think anyone else would say that if they were non-Seahawk fan, and that's fine if that's your opinion. So, but do you see my Jags Bills thing? Do you see what I'm saying? Like the Jags ended up beating the Bills, and they had a good game. ETN looked great, but no one thinks the Jags are better than the Bills. Why is that? And the Jags have a pretty good, well-rounded team. Like they should be able to win the AFC South. You know, it's just that you don't think that the Detroit Lions are a legit top three team. You think that they're pretenders, they're frauds. Yeah, I don't know. That's just I see things a way, you see things your way. We're good. But like I said, for me, if I was incredibly biased, I'd be like Ducks are going to win. Buccaneers are going to win, and no matter who I play, I'm just going to go for that. Even though if I know I'm going to lose by 40, it's just you know. But hopefully, it ends up being a good game between your Huskies and my Ducks. We'll shift and pivot that way, and then we will see if the Buccaneers end up beating the Lions. But I'm telling you right now, even if the Bucks win by 21 or more, I'm still not going to say the Buccaneers are better than the Lions long term. First down and 5. And I respect my team and my players and who I got. But I just think the quality of players and the vibe and the coaching, it just seems special. Not saying the Seahawks and Bucks aren't special this year, because obviously we're playing pretty good football. But I don't see pretender. I see more contender. 14-0 Colorado. Nice to see Travis Hunter out there. And obviously, I got to watch this to break down Shador. Atlanta Falcons would be a great pick in the middle of the late round. That would be a very good fit. Him, Bajan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. He would actually get Kyle Pitts back to being, the pick that they got him for. I mean, hell, if you're going to pick a tight end in the top 5 and he's not even ranked as a top 5 tight end, that's terrible. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. But I will say this: that once Seattle gets to a point, if it's this year or next year, and they end up being, the third best team in the NFC, in my opinion, I'll say it. It's not like I have anything against Seattle. You know what I mean? And just because I'm not a Seahawks fan doesn't mean I'm a Seahawks hater. It's gonna be a lot of fun as we go deeper into the season because the NFC is the it conference. The AFC is not good. Little screen, go baby. And I'm definitely excited about Huskies and Ducks because, who knows? Whoever wins that matchup, if they keep winning, there's a chance that Michael Penix Jr. can win the Heisman. Hell, they could make the playoff. How cool would that be? Like to actually get a team, either Oregon, USC, or UW. But me as a Duck fan, if I was biased, I'd be like, oh, the Ducks have the best chance to be able to represent the Pac-12, but that would be incorrect. The best team that would be able to represent our conference at the very top and get the respect and actually, do it would be the Huskies. Because Michael Penix Jr. is better than Bo Nix. Period. God, that tight end had speed of 2. Is that a horse collar there? Oh, it's easily a horse collar. Call it. You could fuck up. You would tear someone's knee that way. And the ref is standing right there. Come on. Third down and 1. End of the first quarter. And yeah, how do you miss that horse collar? So blatant. It's like when they miss like the face mask. It's like they look at them and they see them, but then they act like they didn't see it. Oh baby, Travis Hunter, shake and bake. Look at that spin move. He'll be special too. And I assume that he'll play corner instead of wide receiver. But you never know. I guess it just depends on where he wants to go, whatever position he thinks he's better. I assume that, I mean, I want to say I think he's probably better at corner, but I mean, he's a phenomenal wide receiver athlete too. So I think he's equally great at both, but he won't play both in the NFL. I mean, that's just too many snaps. So Yeah, this is a great weekend for football, man. Like I said, if I could play anybody with the creamsicles, obviously playing, like the Seahawks or the Lions or the Saints, that's what I would want to play against. Not necessarily the Niners, Eagles. I mean, if I play them, we already know. It's like I'll be able to hang a little bit, but we're not going to be able to have a 4-quarter game, not against the two best teams in the NFL. So. But maybe the sports gods will shine down on your boy, and maybe I'll get a Duck victory 37-34, right? Maybe we'll get a Dicka. Maybe we get just something special. Camden Lewis, baby. Field goal at the end. A little Camden. And then Bucks and Lions. I mean, I knew I was initially predicting that Mike Evans' hammy would keep him out. So then I was like, oh, we're going to lose. But the creamsicles are going to be so cool. I even tried mine on yesterday with my Doug Williams, and I haven't wore it in a year. So it's been in the closet for a year, and I'll debut the hard hat. I haven't wore the hard hat all year. I've been kind of doing the bandana and beanies. So, but we'll bust out the hard hat for that matchup, and we're going to skip Bills and Giants. No Daniel Jones. The Bills are going to win by 1 billion. And then I'll just do reaction videos after the Lions and Bucks game, which will start around 1, and then it'll be over around 4. So. Yeah, we'll see, man. Like I said, Huskies are more well-rounded, but the Ducks defense being in the top 4, not in the bottom 4, is very, very shocking. You got Rome, we got Troy, you got Michael, we got Bo. It's going to be excitement. Like I said, out of all of the Pac-12 matchups that I've seen over the years, or Pac-10, this is definitely in my top 3. Like this is there's a lot on the line. Probably more on the line for you guys because no one really thought the Oregon Ducks would be here, but a lot of people thought the Huskies with Michael Penix Jr. would be in this position. Just based on how good he looked last year and what he was trending to be. And everyone talks about Caleb. But I honestly think Michael Penix Jr. could be just as good of a quarterback as Caleb in the NFL. And if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't say it. I love lefties. He's better than Bo Nix. Both of them are. You know what I mean? But Bo is good enough to get a dub for us. He ain't. He might not be a great NFL player, but he might be a system guy. A guy that will get picked in the 2nd to 6th round. But on the right team, he could maybe be like a Baker Mayfield, where he's not great right away, but maybe eventually, if he's still in the NFL after 2, 3, 4 years, if he finds that Tampa Bay Buccaneer team that believes in him, maybe that could be the team that elevates Bo Nix's career. Because just coming out of the gates, I would be highly shocked if he can be on the Caleb, Michael Penix Jr., Drake May level. But again, it depends on what team you fall on, and a little bit of luck as well. So I did. Bryce's money. He's so clutch. I wish we had a Bryce Harper on the Mariners. I wish we had a Corbin Carroll on the Mariners. Well, not only that, but it would be in your building too. And it's tough to win there. Your guys' crowd is amazing. The dogs are going to be out. Like obviously we know with Autzen, we have one of the top 4, in college football out of all Division I based off like decibel level. The only 3 that are higher than us are typically schools that have 100,000 to 110,000 capacity. Autzen is 50,000 to 55. So for every one of our drunks is like 2 people somewhere else. So we definitely bring that energy, but I guarantee the Husky decibel level, and the Ducks will travel well. There'll be a lot of Ducks fans there. It'll be fun. Chief will chief, baby. We got to put it BUCS because when you do BUCKS, that's Milwaukee, Judah. Yeah, you got to make sure you're doing BUCS. Okay, we got to make sure we're doing the right bucks. $5 holla from my boy Chief. Well, Chief, any concerns about the Kansas City Chiefs and them looking like shit this year? Be honest. Some Chief fans are going to get mad at me when I say that there's problems with the team. And I get it. It's hard to be able to have your team get criticized, but when the criticizing is valid and they don't look like the same team, and this is the worst start Patrick Mahomes has had in his career, I got him in fantasy. I should fucking know if he's doing good or bad. And Eric Bieniemy, no juju, wide receiving core, I can't trust it. I love Chris Jones. I love Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, distraction. I love Pacheco. He's been just as good or better than anticipated, but the wide receiver room has been a big disappointment. Travis Kelce, tight end, amazing, but the rest of the wide receivers, very, very sus, as the kids would say. Galvin, he said, Braves are frauds. Well, anyone that ends up having a week and a half off, and you're not the Houston Astros, well, obviously you couldn't get it done. The Orioles couldn't, the Dodgers couldn't, and the Braves couldn't. Now, I'll give you this. My dad was a Dodger fan since the 50s. The Braves weren't frauds. They were just too cocky and overconfident, and that time off hurt them. The Dodgers, my dad's team, that was the fraud. Starting pitching, suspect. Mid relievers and closers got hot at the end, but at the beginning of the year, suspect. Garbage 5 through 9 hole like the Mariners, suspect. If there was a suspect team that was in the playoffs, it was the Los Angeles Dodgers, and that's why they lost. That to me. But with the Braves, it wasn't really frauds. I think it was that they were the best team in baseball. They should have made it all the way and won with that roster. And if they didn't have time off, would we have gotten the same results? Probably not, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But that's baseball for you. You got to be able to figure it out. And honestly, that makes it easier for Houston's run to be able to win it all. But now you're going to go against a very hot Rangers team, which I think that you can beat. And I think it could be Astros in the World Series, even though I'm a Mariner fan. I should say, fuck that, fuck them, fuck everything Houston, right? But I have to keep it real. I think Houston is a better team, even though the Texas Rangers have been hot. But I think experience will be able to battle a little bit of that Uncle Mo. Unless the Rangers get up 2-0 in the series, then they're going to win it. But if not, then it's going to be all Houston. That's the only side, kind of like scenario. If the Texas Rangers go up 2-0, they will win the series. If not, they're not. And then on the flip side, Diamondbacks are a great story. That's kind of like the Mariners in the American League. We will hope to be like them. But at some point, your luck is going to have to run out. But almost every team that has eliminated the Brewers, right, in the postseason, going back like the last 15 years, has gone to the World Series every single time. So does that mean that it's going to happen again, or is the streak going to end? Because obviously beating the Philadelphia Phillies does not look like something that they can do. Now, could they win 1 or 2 games with Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte? Yeah, with my boy Paul Sewald. But do we honestly think they can win 4 against the Phillies? I think not. Not in front of that Philadelphia fan base. They are the most rowdy fan base in baseball. In a good way. A lot of those damn Eagle fans just being so passionate, drunk, screaming and yelling. But, I can respect it. I respect passion. And anytime I see passion from fan bases, it makes me like you. I like to see that passion, but not dumb, blind passion, but just, you're going to get terrible fans in every fan base. We know this. There's going to be some terrible Eagle and Philadelphia Philly fans. But overall, I don't got a problem with either organization. Floater incomplete. Yeah. But just like pretend you're not a Chief fan for just 1 second. Has Patrick Mahomes looked good this year? Fuck no. Right? Has the wide receivers looked good? Fuck no. Right? Has the defense looked good at times? Yes. Is Chris Jones one of the best in the world? Yes. Is Travis Kelce the best tight end or one of the best tight ends? Yes. Is the Taylor Swift thing annoying? Fuck yes. Right? They're not. Pacheco is better this year than last year and is surprising everyone on planet Earth. Yes. But the team is not good. Like I said, it's not to the standard of being the best in the, best quarterback, best in the NFL. Now, if we didn't have high standards for the Chiefs, it's not a big deal. But when we have them pegged as like the new New England Patriots for the next 20 years, you have to be able to hold that reputation. And when you look like shit, right, you got to accept it and be like, damn. Like imagine if you swapped out Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore, insert Mike Evans. What do you think the fucking lineup's going to look like? It's going to be tremendously better. There's a lot of improvement that needs to be made. And also the play calling. I mean, you don't need to bring Bieniemy back, but I think there has to be a change there also. I don't think I said anything that wasn't true. Some people might take offense, but I mean, when you're speaking facts, it's factual, I want the Chiefs to be good. I don't want to see the wide receivers fucking, not doing well. But if Patrick Mahomes can't get fucking 3, 4, 5 touchdown passes and he's getting like stupid ass picks, throwing up little Nerf ball 500 balls that I've never seen him do in his career, not even at Texas Tech, why are you throwing a loft just like, here you go, and it's in like double, triple coverage? When the fuck has Patrick Mahomes did that in his career? Fucking never. And then, of course, I pick him in the third round. I could have picked Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen. And I did Mahomes and I fucked up. Not good. Needs to be better. Yeah, playing down to the competition is one thing, but Mahomes has not looked good. The play calling is not as crisp, right? The route running isn't crisp. A lot of drops, a lot of like head scratching plays, a lot of 3 and outs. This isn't just any team in the AFC or even like the Bills or the Dolphins. You guys are the champions. You guys are the Kansas City Chiefs. You guys are the best thing since sliced bread. You arguably have the best tight end, the best coach, and the best quarterback, right? It's unacceptable. Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's unacceptable if you're a Chief fan. It needs to be better. Otherwise, if it doesn't get better, you're not going to the Super Bowl. And you don't want it to be a downward trend where all of a sudden Buffalo takes your spot and then they end up being the best team in football moving forward in the next 5 years. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, you know what I mean? But at some point, there's going to be another team, Buffalo, Miami, or whoever the fuck, right? And they're gonna duke it out, I follow the Chiefs just as heavy as any Chief fan. I got Mahomes in fantasy. I'm watching what's going on. I'm not pleased. I fucked myself. Jalen Hurts would have been way better. Josh Allen, way better. And now I'm stuck with a guy that doesn't even put up top 10 performances each week. You're supposed to be the best quarterback in the NFL, and sometimes you're not even finishing in the fucking top 10? I get it if you're not in the top 5. Some other guys like Tua has a monster game and throws for 500 yards. Fuck it, right? But if you're fucking Patrick Mahomes, how the fuck are you not in the top 10? Explain to me this, all right? So obviously, lack of talent, right? Youth, certain players aren't there anymore, certain coaches not there anymore, and then inserting something new, like a new girlfriend or new boyfriend, that shit ain't working. Time to break up. Time to reevaluate. Time to get something better. That's my opinion. But it shows you, it's like one thing you can do it without Tyreek, right? And you prove the haters wrong. But when the collective talent is better that's there, then you have to start asking yourself, okay, what's the difference between last year and this year? Like, honestly, what's the difference? No Juju. That would have been a number 1 receiver. You don't got one. You got Kadarius Toney that drops half of the fucking footballs, but he's been much better since that debacle where he had the 3 drops and the pick 6. But I don't trust him. Sky Moore's too young. And you got other guys out there like Noah Gray and Justin Watson who just got hurt. Prayers up for him. But it's like you might have been able to get away with it when Juju was there and Kelsey's on and the O-line's doing good defense and Bieniemy there. But when Bieniemy not there, Nagy's there, and then with some of the other pieces, it ain't fucking working this year. It ain't working. Can you still win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Right? But if Buffalo's defensive players didn't get hurt with Tre'Davious White and Matt Milano, the Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl this year. But now, who knows? And obviously the Dolphins could be in the running. Same thing with the Jags. They could be that sleeper team like the Seahawks or like the Bucks that upset somebody big at the top. Go Shador. I just have high expectations. I don't want to see Mahomes' career go on a downward slide. But it's like sometimes you can carry a football team, but still you can't carry it forever. And a lot of times you're actually not carrying it by yourself. Sometimes it is the head coach. Sometimes it is an Eric Bieniemy. Sometimes it is a guy like Juju who's not doing anything in fucking New England. But you best believe if Juju was there, right, on the Chiefs, do you think that the offense would have looked a little bit better? So instead of going to the Noah Grays and the Justin Watsons and it's 3rd down and 6 and you need a fucking first down, boom, Juju on the beat. First down, Chiefs. And it's not like I think Juju is like, oh my God, he's a Hall of Famer. He's all right. He's not like the best, but he's not the worst. But he's better than anybody you got on the roster now at wide receiver. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. He's more of a number two receiver that gets implemented as a one. Sometimes he could be even a three on a really, really good team. But compared to what they got, it's like, man, I need to see some improvement. He's holding it on too long. Why is that? Is it just Mahomes? Is it the play call? Right? Is it Nagy? Is it Andy Reid? Is it the offensive line? Is it Mahomes is not processing the information, or he doesn't trust the wide receivers and he doesn't want to throw a pick? What is it? Because I mean, if I can look at the team and I don't trust anybody on that roster besides Travis Kelce, that's a problem. Like, play in and play out. Can you have other guys make play? I trust Pacheco and McKinnon and Kelce, but if we're just talking about tight ends and receivers, I don't trust anybody. DK all day, but besides him, a big third down, fuck, it's a 50-50. Who knows if motherfucker's going to catch the ball or not? If you're throwing a ball to Watson or Noah Gray or Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney, you really feel confident they're going to get the first down every time? Fuck no. So I hope that they address that. Well, Mahomes is mature. Mahomes didn't just get into fucking adolescence and go through puberty and just figure it out. He's been the best goddamn quarterback in the NFL for years. Touchdown, Colorado Buffaloes. Where is that type of play for Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce? Huh? 39-yard Xavier Weaver. Dion loves it. He's wearing the beats. He ain't even fucking listening to the game. He's got some fucking, Lil Durk. I don't know. You got some Drake on. Who knows what Dion's listening to? Right. But do you see, I just have, I want to be a fan of greatness. Little trick play. Get in there. Did he get in? Yes, he did. 2-point conversion. Good. Colorado Buffaloes trying to be like the Oregon Ducks, like Chip Kelly. There we go. Yeah. And like I said, if it wasn't your team, right, I wouldn't give a shit. Like if Buffalo fucks up, yeah, what's new? They never have running backs that are good enough. They keep doing the same bullshit over and over, thinking that the running backs that they have are good enough to get past the Chiefs, and they're never good enough. But this year, James Cook and Latavius Murray, they're not the best, but it's the best they've had. And then now, when you think that you're going to get past the Chiefs finally, what happens? Bye-bye Tre'Davious White. Bye-bye Matt Milano. It's like, and then a few other starters on top of that too. So we need those touchdowns for Kelce. We need those Mahomes touchdowns. Like, why the hell did I pick Patrick Mahomes in the third round? I didn't pick him to finish outside the top 10 more than half of the weeks. That's bullshit. I got CJ Stroud. I don't want to bench Mahomes for CJ Stroud, but I will. I will. Yeah. But the thing is that even when he's taking his time, even when he's taking his time, I don't know. The throws have been very suspect. I mean, think about any other year where Mahomes has looked like this. Think about any other year where he throws up those like ducks, where it's just like you're in the backyard with your homies and you're like 100, and you just like throw it up there. Anybody can get it. There's three people standing there. Like, I'm very confused. That is not Patrick Mahomes. Now, if that's something like Kirk Cousins, did, yeah, I wouldn't like even bat an eye, but not when Patrick Mahomes is doing it. That's terrible. About for what, smokage? What are we talking? Are you talking about the players, or what are we talking about? Are we talking about, because obviously in Oregon everything, wineries, breweries, dispensaries, everything's like legal here. So, but I mean anything that has to do with college athletics, if any athlete is doing anything right, then that's considered cheating or like against the rules. No, I mean I imagine there's probably players everywhere but I don't think it's something that's like condoned. Like, yeah, do that. But I mean, it is what it is. It's like NFL players getting drunk, like Marshawn Lynch, doing he says a shot or shot and a half of Hennessy, which is lies. You know that maybe it was a shot or a shot and a half sometimes, but there was probably times where he did 4 or 5 shots. Let's not kid ourselves. And I love Marshawn. You know what I mean? But anytime you lay it out, oh, a shot, shot and a half, then add like 3 or 4 to that. And that's the real number. You ain't fucking, you ain't fooling nobody in the sports world saying, oh, I just had to have a shot or a shot and a half. There's probably times you had a little bit more than that, and that's how you ran beast mode. And I got no problem with that. I love me some Marshawn. He's a very cool character. Keeps it very fucking real. Very OG, laid back. Definitely an Oakland vibe. I would hang out with him though. He seems very chill. And I imagine, players. I mean, you can go to a dispensary. I don't know what necessarily the age for dispensary is. 18, 18 and above. I would assume. I don't know. Maybe each state has it differently or whatever. So yeah. But the thing that I'm bringing up is that he's doing it more often than we've ever seen. A couple of season is fine, but when I'm seeing it happen almost every game, and the offense is not looking crisp and Mahomes-ish, it's not a Mahomey offense, you know. So I fucked up. I will never pick him ever again in fantasy. I am not joking. I'm never going to pick him again. I will always go to Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen or someone else. I mean, I already lost Jay Jetta for the fucking year pretty much. I mean, we'll see if he comes back and what his leg looks like. It's going to be very hard for me to win the championship this year. No Jay Jetta? Golly. First down and 10 for Stanford Cardinal. Oh, almost picked off. 22-0 Buffaloes. I mean, if Mahomes was playing better football, but I was getting, the same amount of points, in fantasy, then, there's nothing to really talk about. But like in sports talk, you got to talk about the things that sometimes people are not talking about as much, or maybe they should. I mean, if it was any other team besides the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Mahomes and Kelsey, fine. But when you're at the Michael Jordan status, the excellence of execution, you are, the top of the top. And if things start going on a downward spiral, I need to examine why. But even if I didn't have him in fantasy, I still would be like, what the hell is going on? But it seems like the gap has definitely, the Chiefs had a big gap on all the other teams, even though Buffalo was pretty close. I didn't like their O line or their running back room that often, right? And then now, like the chinks in the armor are showing, and now it seems like Miami and Jacksonville and Buffalo are much closer. And now it's like anybody can win the AFC, and it wasn't really like that before. It was like, when New England was in the league, it was New England, New England, New England always as the prediction team. And then when Kansas City got good, it was pretty much Kansas City. Yeah, Buffalo's going to get close, and they'll be probably number 2, but we need to see it happen, and we haven't seen it happen yet. But it'll be interesting to see what happens this year. I just want to see great football. You know what I mean? That's really my concern. We watch so much garbage football in the NFL, so many garbage primetime games. The last thing I want to see is the number one quarterback in the NFL start going garbage. I don't want to see that. I want to see good games. I want to see good quarterbacks. I got plenty of time to watch Kirk Cousins or worse if I want to. You know, I got plenty of time to do that. I'd rather watch some goatness and some greatness. 21. Yeah, maybe it's 21 everywhere. Nothing in there besides Odin's son in the beginning. 22-0 Buffaloes. Is Dion actually listening to music, or is he listening to? I mean, they converted that obviously into the custom microphone Beats device. Second down and 3. Come on, Stanford, get to at least 17 for pride. I assume you'll be able to, try to get into field goal range, but you won't get your touchdown until the second half. So I would assume we'll be, whatever it is, 29-3, depending on if they can actually score here or if Colorado will have to kneel. We'll see where we go. Dion listening to a little Tunchi. That's what I was thinking. He's like, give me the play call, and then boom, and then he hits like pause and then unpause, and then boom. What's he listening to, Elliot? A milli. Third down and 1 for the Stanford Cardinal. Man in motion. Shotgun set. QB keeper. They can't do the tush push. First down, Stanford. Move the chains. Yeah. You guys need to make a move for a wide receiver at the deadline or before the deadline, but I doubt you guys will. You guys will just ride the ship the way that it is. Because that's what you guys do. But it wouldn't significantly change, I don't think, unless it was like a Mike Evans. You bring in a Mike Evans, even an old Mike Evans, to Kansas City next year. I mean, then you're right back where you were when you had Tyreek and Kelsey. And now you got to decide if, Nagy boy, if he's the right one or not, moving forward. But a simple player like a Mike Evans going to the Chiefs would solve all your goddamn problems, or at least some of them. Megan with a Tua. No worries. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. And we got 5 minutes until halftime here. I'll get some photos up here in a sec. Appreciate you. Yeah, but I want to see the Chiefs with a number 1 receiver. Like, what's the best receiver, besides Tyreek that you guys have had in the last, 10 or 15 years? Dwayne Bowe? Like, fucking A, man. It's like it's time to get another Tyreek in the building. Yeah, well, reflect. Why is that? Why has Stanford fallen? Number 1 reason, head coach. No David Shaw, no recruits, no Andrew Lucks, no wins. Answer solved. Bingo, bongo, bango, boom shakalaka. Now, if Shaw was still there, the fall from grace probably wouldn't be as dramatic. Like shitty, but not this shitty. Like at least 500 shitty, He's got some kind of skills. 4th down and 8. Blitz coming. Bootleg, rolling to his right. Throw it! He's like, I'm going to take on 4 Buffaloes. They were towards the end of his run, but they didn't think that it was going to drop off to when they were falling off. But they're not falling off like this, where it looks like you're only going to win 1 or 2 games a season. That's a fucking drop off, like off the cliff, off the building. You need better because they're coming. Dolphins, Bills, Jaguars. Like I said, we never anticipated the offense to look like that. So it's just a matter of time. If anybody could fucking get a defense in the AFC, anybody that could have a defense. Like if you had the Pittsburgh Steelers defense with the Buffalo offense, then we're talking something, But, you can't combine the teams. But that's what Buffalo needs, Get a little TJ Watt action over there to pair up with the Josh Allen on the other side with the Diggs. Then you got something. And you got to have better running backs. I mean, James Cook and Latavius Murray, it's like they're still doing the same dog shit that they were doing before. But I think James Cook is a little bit better than what they've had with like Singletary and Moss and some of the other guys. I think it's slightly better. Like I don't know, it feels like when you watch James Cook, like it's not like oh my god, but like sometimes like he runs a little bit more than you think. Like he starts to run and it looks like it's a 3 yard gain, but then he gets 7. And you're like, all right, motherfucker, okay, or it looks like it's 1 yard and then it ends up being 4. And I'm like, okay, you're not my favorite, but you're better than what they've had. That's the vibe that I get. I don't know if you guys watch Buffalo Bill football or not or seen them run, but that's the vibe. And it seems like it's a little bit more swagger in the running back room, but still not good enough, I think, to, carry Josh Allen and help him out. So obviously, if you have a good running game, then the play action to Diggs is going to work better. Hello. Yeah. Oh, Matt Payton. Yeah, he was a pretty good receiver for the Chiefs. Good route runner, good hands, good agility, good 40 time, good squats. This game's a blowout, but I knew it would be. 22-0. Buffaloes. Then Mo Gumbo's going to have to send me the picks for the games so I can try to help to win him money for his bar. He's never finished in, I think, the top 5 or top 10, and I'm just trying to get him in the top 3. But I feel like picking games, it doesn't let me have the ESP because the ESP comes at the moment. And then you say it and then express it, and then it happens. Like just to predict it before it happens, sometimes you have to have the feeling. And I think with NFL games, even without the spread, straight up, it's not that easy. I mean, sometimes you look at the matchup and you don't really fucking know. Seahawks Bengals. I mean, are we talking about what we saw last week or what we think is going to happen? Like, are we going to get the good Seahawks or the bad Seahawks? Are we getting the bad Bengals or are we getting Jamar Chase 3 tutties last week? Bengals. Like, it's going to be a pretty decent weekend for college football and NFL. It's from the New York Times for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Are you going to the game or are you just going to college game day? Because you should. But I would only be at college game day if I was actually going to the game. One day I'm going to go. I've never been there, but I love the specs of the stadium. Obviously, I'll get heckled, but I'm not the type of person to like try to get into a fight and be drunk and talk shit and point fingers and be loud and crazy. You know, I'm just gonna enjoy the game, mind my business. Wear some swaggy fucking shit. And if someone wants to start shit because I got the fucking swaggy chains, then or I got the gloves, but shotgun set, first down and 10. Go, baby, go. Dylan Edwards. There we go. Move the chains. First down, Buffaloes. God, I wish I could go. Like bucket list. Like, okay, they've both been in existence for over 100 years. They've never been 5-0, 5-0, and they've never been in the top 10 at the same time, ever, in 100 years. What? I mean, talk about a lot on the fucking line. Like maybe Ducks win the game, but Michael Penix Jr. wins the Heisman. But I guess if you were going to win the Heisman, you'd probably have to go undefeated. You'd have to like go undefeated into the point where you ended up being in the playoff. And then if you lost in the semis or something, then whatever. But Caleb and Michael Penix Jr. They got a shot. But Bo Nix, no. But Michael Penix Jr., Caleb, yes. Oh, nice. Nice. And I'll get photos for all of y'all here in a second. And you just type in the chat what you want, and I got you. Oh, look at this end around. Nobody there. Look at this. Stanford's like sleeping. Like literally, they could have walked that in. Stanford Cardinal looks like a JV high school team or Pop Warner. Well, I was hoping for 40 plus, and we might almost get to that number before halftime. Should do. Should do. Should do. Should do. Yeah, good matchups this weekend. I'm actually very, very excited. Let me like pin them down here. All right, so let me look at the matchups here. Obviously, Oregon, Washington, that's clutch. USC, Notre Dame, clutch. Miami, North Carolina, UCLA, Oregon State. Those are going to be the best college football games this weekend. Period. Top 25, period. And then NFL games. Let me peek that, and then we'll get into some photos. All right, what matchups I like? Commanders and Falcons. I like it. Seahawks and Bengals. I like it. Saints, Texans. CJ Stroud going against a tough defense in the Saints. I like it. Lions, Bucks. I like it. Cowboys, Chargers. I like it. And that's about it. Those are the main ones. Everything else is like, should be a blowout, you know. Oh, Jags, Colts. I like it. I just wish that Richardson was playing, but that one could be a trap game for the Jags. They're like, oh, we beat Buffalo. And then all of a sudden, Gardner Minshew fucking, gets that mustache, fucking combs that son of a bitch, gets some hairspray on that, and all of a sudden he goes off. And then all of a sudden the Colts end up upsetting the Jags, by 7, right? Like, could that happen? Yeah, it could. Good matchups, man. I love it when we get like the middle teams, even if it's like Tampa Bay or whatever, or the Lions or Seattle, or teams that are even lower than us, like Atlanta. I like seeing like those intriguing matchups, like where you got one team that's clearly better record wise, but you got a team that's like 500 or a game below, but you have a feeling that if that team that's like, let's say, 3-4 going against a team that's like 5-2, that maybe that 3-4 team has like that epic game. Like, it's like their Super Bowl, and then they get that upset. Kind of like what the Raiders did against the Packers. Oh, USC Irish? Oh, USC. But the Irish, obviously, they ended up going late to the wire against Ohio State. And then they had, another matchup, very, very close, at the very end, like last play. And then they had another one where they just got blown out by, I think, Louisville. So the Irish are no longer a threat to USC's undefeated streak. I still think the Irish could win, but I feel like emotionally they're kind of damaged goods now because they knew that they had to win against Louisville. Like, they can't lose on the last play of the game. You have to be able to try to win every game and try to stay undefeated until you play USC and then go from there. So I think that Irish, do they have a shot to win? Yes, but who do I think is going to win? Caleb and USC. So USC ain't going to lose until they play Oregon, Washington, or maybe like at Oregon State. Oregon State plays USC really, really well. I've done games in years past, and everyone knows the kryptonite to USC typically ain't Washington or Oregon. It's the Beavers. They find a way to Beaver believe. Ask Marcos and my homie Jake. I watch the Beavs, and for whatever reason, the Beavers give, like, literally, like if they were in the Natty, that's how they play USC. Like, I am trying to destroy you, and we're trying to win the Pac-12 championship. Nah. We're trying to win the national championship, and that's how Oregon State plays USC, and I think that's why they've been able to get a couple big upsets when even USC has been ranked number 1 in the country, and then the Beavers of, So as long as you're not playing the Beavers, you're good. You're good. $5 holla. A little bang, 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 a little bang, bang, bang. And a little boom, boom, boom. Gets those likes up. And like I said, once we have you doing it, Elliot, and have you noticed it didn't start happening until you started focusing on it. And that's what we need the mods to do. Like we need to have them promote. We need to have them, help and support and the posts on like the Instagram and the Twitter, share it and try to get people to come through if you think it would be a good fit, like any little thing, to even if it doesn't seem like it really matters, right? But it does. Any little comment in the chat that other people can see, they can see it also on the Twitter side. So sometimes we'll get, maybe 10 or 20 people watching, but sometimes I'll get hundreds and hundreds of views, and sometimes we'll have over 100, that have watched it just on the Twitter X side spying, sometimes even more than that, a couple hundred. So anything that they can't donate, or they can donate to Cash App if they see it down in the ticker, but they can't donate through Twitter X yet, and then they can't comment, but they can watch, and then they can see the things that we do here. If they want to comment and donate, they have to do it here. Unless they look at the ticker and see the Cash App and they're like, okay. And we actually have had that happen. I have gotten donos from people exclusively from Twitter X, which is very cool. It does not happen often. Because most people, when they see that shit on social media, most of the people that have something like that, like a podcast, it sucks ass. Like you follow a bunch of sport people, and then you see like Joe Blow's podcast, and it's like, it just doesn't look good, doesn't sound good, and then you see about 50 of those. But every once in a while you'll see, someone that obviously has something special to offer that maybe also streams to Twitch or YouTube, but it just so happens that they're also on Twitter/X, and you can definitely tell those people, the people that are a little bit better, they actually have some content. 3rd down and 4 for the Buffalo defense. Screen pass, a little shake and bake. Reflect with an $8 dono. A bang and a bang and then a boom and a boom and then a bang, 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 bang. I'll tell you what, Michael Penix Jr. is my favorite quarterback since Johnny Football and Michael Vick. That is a long time. Some guys are going to pan out in the NFL. Some guys are going to be college legends. Michael Penix Jr. can be better than Michael Vick and Tua. Maybe not as good as a Steve Young as a lefty, but if you could be like a Tua Boomer Esiason kind of cat, you're going to be special. I'm excited, man. It's kind of bad because I'm a Duck fan, and this is me being honest and 100, right? Like, I kind of want the Ducks to win because, of course, all day, every day, right? But I also want history to happen. So it's like I kind of want the Huskies to win, but just like barely. Michael Penix Jr. to go off and like them to like win the national championship if they could, if it wasn't like a USC in the Pac-12, right? And then Michael Penix Jr. gets like the Heisman, so that way we can be proud of something. Yeah, is it going to hurt if we lose the game? But if we lose the game to someone that ends up getting the Heisman, or maybe it's better not to get the Heisman, because sometimes when you get the Heisman, it's like a curse, and those quarterbacks are under so much scrutiny and pressure that they fold. But not every Heisman folds. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and you're going to pan out. But it's also like, it feels like maybe it's better not to win the Heisman so that you don't have to have that pressure. But if you don't win the Heisman, right, but you still get picked in the first 2 picks, you're fucked. Because you still have that stigma of being like Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, where everyone thinks they're going to pan out. Both guys went to natties, big things, right? But did either one of them pan out? And the answer is no, they did not. So it's like, but Penix to me is like special. Like, we're talking Michael Vick, Tua, Steve Young, but probably somewhere in the middle. If he can not get hurt, like if he can stay healthy, I think that's his upside. And if I didn't believe in that, why the hell would I say it? But I will say this. If Bo Nix didn't get hurt last season, the Ducks would have won that game 100%. The way that flow of that game was going. They didn't trust Tyler Thompson, and we ran the ball goddamn 4 times. We let you know what we were doing because we didn't trust the kid. You guys got it. But if I thought it was 50-50 or 70-30, I would say it. That was our game. But this weekend, I think it's Huskies. And I just hope that our defense doesn't get embarrassed. I don't want to lose 42 to 17. I would be very pissed. If we're gonna lose, we better fucking lose 3 to fucking 10 points, but preferably 3. If we're gonna lose, field goal at the end, it's gonna hurt. But I'll be like, you know what, 37-34, hell of a game, GG. Go win that fucking Heisman. Go beat everyone else, USC, fucking Oregon State, beat whoever you need to beat, and keep it moving and represent the Pac-12 and try to get into the playoff and fuck everybody up. That would be my response. So 29-0, Dion is listening to Lil Wayne. I'm Millie. Nice. I'm on Dexter, dude. I'm on a Dexter tip. And once I start watching Dexter, bro, it's like a it's an addiction. It's like I got to go to like regular show, little Mordecai and Rigby to be light to make me laugh. Me and Paisley will chill. And then watch an episode or two of regular show or like an 80s cartoon, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, G.I. Joe. It's a shit. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1987. It doesn't compare to any turtle cartoon you've ever seen. It only compares to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, or number two, Secret of the Ooze. That same type of amazement. Like those will never get old to me. But I was on that Dexter tip, man. It's like I got to watch it late at night. I can't watch one episode. I'm watching probably like 4 or 5 at a time, and then I got to take a break, and then I usually do it in the morning, unless I'm doing research or reading. Good for you, dude. And have you watched Lip in the new one? Good old Lip. He's always doing awesome things, doing like a cooking drama, which is amazing, right? Shameless. And then he's in that new wrestling film with Zac Efron. And it's going to be like, it'll be funny and it'll make you cry and it'll go through a bunch of roller coasters and it'll be like a very wide range if you know the story of that wrestling family. Um, but it looks like it could be like worth a watch. Like, go pay for it at the theater? Probably not. But wait for it to come out on whatever platform and watch it then. Yeah, I'll definitely watch. You got to watch The Bear, dude. That shit made me cry, bro. Like, I don't fucking cry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I fall in love with a cast. You know what I mean? But some shows is just for entertainment. But when it can like tug at the heartstrings and you like can relate, whether you see something that people have addiction or depression or anxiety, or they used to be like an asshole, and then they there's a reason why they're that way, and then you can kind of see them try to change, for either themselves or their kids or for someone else. I love shows like that, and it's like, and I love the intensity, because like I'm an intense guy, and I like to be able to keep things on the move, and I'm always go, and like I said, and I love cooking, and I love that type of world, the stress and the failures, but also the highs and the accomplishments and the teamwork and seeing people overcome. I love that shit. I love raw human emotion in TV shows or movies or sitcoms or whatever it is. Like if you can get me to fucking laugh like a motherfucker, like laugh, like out of my gut, and then you can make me fucking cry in the show, dude, you got me. Like you motherfucker. And not only did you get me, it's probably going to be one of my top 5 shows. I mean, some other ones are going to be more entertainment. True Blood, Game of Thrones, Dexter. I'm not going to cry after that type of stuff. It's going to be like The Bear, like raw, real shit. Hell yeah, I'll cry with that. Kick is up. Burr, burr. No good. Yeah. Sometimes I think your body naturally needs that. So instead of doing it when something's like actually sad in life, if we can actually do it through, like raw emotion when you're watching something, then it makes like when the bad shit happen a little bit better. If you're able to not have everything held in all the time. 49 seconds left. Let me get some photos. Prep, baby. Do you want Megan? Do you want Kraken? Do you want Seahawks? You want to get specific for me? I mean, I got plenty. I got Jaws files. I got Seahawk files. I got Kraken. I got whatever. Oh, it's full moon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum 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 yum. A sack lunch. And then everyone's seen that commercial. Tried to be able to come up with a word for what sack should be. Got like Aaron Andrews and a bunch of the analysts. in the commercial. Yeah, and I don't know. For me, like I got a female brain, so like I got a lot more empathy and sympathy and compassion, and I feel more. I feel like there's some people, regardless if you're a guy or a woman, you could be a strong woman or a strong man, not cry or hold your emotions in. Anyone can be. It all depends on what you go through. You know, the more you go through, the tougher person you become, and also the attitude that you show. You can't go through a bunch of bad shit in your life and act for, to have this fake smile on your face 24/7. You know, but I love like seeing people interact with other people. Like that's why I like watching like Wicked Tuna, right? Swamp People, Life Below Zero, other people and how they live and how they treat people, how they talk to people. Raw emotion. I mean, talk about reality TV. That's the best kind. It ain't fake. It ain't scripted, even though it's like a script for a show, but they're trying to give you, real, raw, emotional feelings where you actually could like put yourself in the shoes of the characters and feel that raw emotion. We get it in sports too. Third down and 15, like when Rondé Barber got that pick six on Donovan McNabb. You have never heard me scream in a higher girl, 6-year-old girl just got, brand new Barbies for Christmas scream. I mean, Night Bride or Barbies or Garbage Pail Kids or whatever. Cabbage Patch Dolls. I mean, screaming and screaming and screaming. Tamagotchi, Pokemon. Man. Halftime, we got ourselves a really close game, 29-0. Buffaloes. Time for O-Dog to get some photos for the goats in the room. And you know who you are. Goats, 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 goats. All of y'all. Everyone that's donated, comment below, please, what you want to see. And I got you. Yeah, and this one was already over before the game started because I've already seen Stanford play like 3 times. They played Oregon. They are at the very, 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 very bottom. They are terrible. Like Stanford is so bad at college football this season that if we had some of the elite teams like UW, Oregon, and USC, and we played our backups, we might be able to win the game. That's how bad. Like that, normally that's an insult, but I mean, if a team is bad at the bottom 3, I mean, it's on its truth. TROOOOF, not TRUTH, not truth. Like Megan, get out of there! Get out of the water! Get out of the water! Oregon and Washington, baby. I have not been this excited. The last time I think I was this excited, no lie, was probably the Rose Bowl, or the national championship. The national championship against Auburn. That one really got my because I honestly think that was ours. It was just a fluke, play where the running back rolled on the back of a Duck player. His knee didn't go down. They got an excess 12 yards, kicked a field goal. We lost. That was our championship, and we may never win one again. That was like Chip's one opportunity to put Oregon on the map, and we just failed right there on a kind of a flukish play. But no chance with Mariota against Ohio State. And honestly, the Rose Bowl wins with Herbert and obviously LaMichael James and DeAnthony and Darren Thomas and Chip Kelly. Those meant the most. But the Natty would have been so spectacular. Spectacular. Like smoking a cig in front of an animatronic shop right in front of y'all. Oh, yeah, of course. You got to love the USC Notre Dame because usually you guys are both good. So something is always on the line, right? And then USC UCLA is fun because it's your rival, but you usually beat them up. You know, oh god, I mean, I think everyone is. I mean, Husky fans are assuming they're going to win, and that's the type of attitude you should have. You have the better quarterback, right? But they respect, even if they want to talk shit and hate. Every Husky fan deep down knows that it could be a blowout, but also what if Oregon plays really well and tries to get payback from last season. So, but again, you have home field, so it'll be your game to lose, not necessarily Oregon's game to win. We're going to do everything that we can do with our eggshell unis and with our fire helmets, but when you go on the road, you really get to see how good a football team is. It's like it's one thing to play great at home. But if you can be like the Seattle Seahawks going to the Detroit Lions and winning there, right, on the road, it gives you that swagger and that confidence that, hey, we can compete. And not only that, we can do something that we weren't able to do a couple years ago. What's that? Win a really good game against a really good team on the road. You feel me? Huskies, Ducks, Ducks, Huskies. I wish it was on at like 5 o'clock, but college game day is there, 12:30. It makes sense. Oh, is that nice? Like Michael Penix Jr. makes purple look like a dope color. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get a really good athlete, like some people hate on purple because they think it's just too much of like kind of like a colorful girl t-shirt color, not necessarily like a guy color, right? Like a more of a feminine color, right? But when you get the right athletes and the right team, like honestly, that combination of the purple and I love it. I think it's like Oregon might have, the money and they got the Nike and the Phil Knight money, so we can do all these like uniform changes. But honestly, like this look to me is fire. And I'm a Duck fan saying that. Like I love that you can make this combination look awesome. It's like it's like ballsy to take on a pink or a purple. It's not going to be as easy as a black or white or red or blue or green. It's like much easier. Even orange is more maybe more neutral, But I love it. Like, it would be kind of cool if we could ever see something that if a team was ballsy enough to do pink and they rocked it, like maybe the Miami Dolphins with the South Beach like pink and like that blue South Beach blue, but it's like a pink jersey. I don't know. I'd be open to seeing a pink jersey if they did it the right way, made it stylish with the right pink and blue or blue and pink South Beach. Okay, I could see that. Fire, 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 fire. And it's not like I was like, oh, I just knew who he was. I may not remember him at Indiana, but like I said, he took his game, to go for that team in Indiana, and it was actually doing pretty good against like the Michigan and Ohio States. But you're going to get a hell of a lot more pub when you're on UW. Better team, better conference, at the moment, and more eyeballs. But we saw a sneak peek of it last year, and then now it's like, okay, people are starting to be like, ooh, this could be. But I still think people are hating and they don't really see that he could be on the Tua level or better. But the only thing that's going to hold him back is himself and injuries. So, and you got to think if I say that the quarterback on the other team is better than my own, then they must be. Like I'm not going to be a Bo Nix, Bo Nix, Bo Nix. And if I said that, I would be a goddamn liar. To say Bo Nix is better than Michael Penix Jr. or Caleb Williams, it's an offense. I would get arrested. All right. It would be like the shit that you would hear on TV and podcasts because that's how terrible they are. But then it's not even like a good hot take because it's not even true. Like, you just look like a fucking idiot. And it's not only not Michael Penix Jr., they got two wide receivers that are NFL, Jalen McMillan, Roma Dunze. A lot of the other skill position players look like they can play in the NFL. And they always have a defense that flies around. Offensive linemen, they typically have one or two that's pretty good every year. Some guys better than others. And also one or two guys at the D-line, linebacker, corners, or safeties that make it to the NFL almost every year. But everyone is just not paying attention, and they don't realize Vita Vea is from UW. Like we actually have produced, some ballers. Buda Baker is from UW. But it's like people like they're like, oh, Vita, oh, Buddha, I know them, but they don't know that they go to the Huskies. You know what I'm saying? So we need to put them on the map. Even though I'm a Duck fan, put them on the map. We would have won this game last year. We need some payback, payback, payback. Business is booming. Oh, that guy's kind of good. I'll take care of you guys. Juice, you can bring up anything baseball. If anything has to do with money, it can be brought up because anyone needs to win in fantasy or sports betting. I take that shit serious. I try to help people. Like, honestly, if I had more money, I would start doing like DraftKings or like sports betting. I would start doing it. Like, I just don't have the income, and I would be very selective on what I would do. I would never get to the point where I would be like addicted, and I have to do it every day. But sometimes that's what'll happen, especially if you start winning big a couple times. But if you win big a couple times, you probably lost big 20 times. You just have to make sure you have enough money to keep that cycle going. Otherwise, you have to scale back, and you don't want to get in trouble either with it. It's a slippery slope, but I feel like with my knowledge, I can actually get it to work in my favor, where I would lose most of the time. But if I played my cards right, a couple times, I could win a little bit bigger than the average person, I think, and that would help me. But I just don't have the funds to do it, so I try to give the info away. Yeah, our O line and D line have to win the battle at the line of scrimmage, and our defense has to outplay Washington's 100%, or the game is over. Like the only way that we actually keep it close is we have to get sack lunches, pick off Michael Penix Jr. twice, and we have to be decent at the run, even though we know they're going to get big runs on us. And then for every big road or Jalen McMillan touchdown, Troy's got to have two as well. So, and we know this, right? Bucky Irving got to go off. Where are the games being played? Is it in Houston, or is it Rangers or Astros? Who's at home? Oregon State's going to be a fun one. I'm watching that shit. I'm a Duck fan, but I love watching the Beavers. Like from them being so shitty and having friends that that are emotional. They'll go to the games, they'll tear up. They want to make sure that the team is on point, and they finally got to the right coach, the right game planning, the right recruiting, and they could be the team that upsets Oregon. Like Oregon could end up beating Washington and USC, and we could go all the way to the end and play them in the Civil War and lose. That's how good they are. Martinez, the running back. I mean, they got a couple studs, as well as the transfer Ugalele from Clemson. You bring in a guy like that, even Oregon State can be relevant. Oh yeah. Oh, who is that? It's my brother. Do you know him? Do you know my brother? I miss that. Why can't we have Mariner baseball right now? Like for real though, people would have so much fun watching the Mariners. It'd be like watching the Diamondbacks. He's like, I am Odaga's brother. He's like, oh, konnichiwa. Odaga is my brother. It's my boy, Ichi. Would definitely get goosebumps if I met Ichi. That would be an honor. It definitely would be one of the ones that it would be, yeah, definitely on the bucket. $5 holla and a bang, a stack, and a rack, and a cactus jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. And that Popeyes. Even the Husky logo is dope, but I can't just put up a Husky or like the W. You gotta get the combo one. I gotta make you guys look as swaggy as possible. I would be doing a disservice to someone that I really like. And it's crazy on how much I like Michael Penix Jr. Like, I honestly like him the most out of any quarterback that's coming out. Like, I like Shador, I like Caleb, but like he is my favorite one out of this draft class. Like, and I'm not saying he's going to be better than Caleb Williams, but I'm hoping that he'll be on the same kind of level. I'm really hoping for that, or maybe above and beyond. Who knows? I love lefties, man. That's one thing in sports with me. You'll notice if there's a lefty and they're elite, chances are I probably love them. Don't matter if it's on a rival team like the Huskies. Don't fucking matter. Love them. I mean, how can you not love that spiral? Washington, right? Before Michael Penix Jr. After Michael Penix Jr. Like that guy right there, Michael Penix Jr. He got good, right? I haven't been excited. It's like better than Tui Alfasopo. I mean, you've had, a few QBs, Jake Brownings and a few others. Your boy watches football. Ain't no dummy, right? You've had some, but not like this. The vibe is different, like where this is like you get vibes of like, oh, not just being good in college, but this could be something special. Like you could start and like be that team's guy. That he has that potential, and that's exciting. We don't get that in the Pacific Northwest that often. So the majority of Duck fans will be like, fuck that guy, right? Bo Nick's better, but I ain't no dummy. What's stronger in your opinion? UW's O line or their D line this year? Michael in the building. Fly, Eagles, fly. What's good, brother? Oh, so that's a fucking welcome. And the spinning logo. Shit. Looking good. Fun to watch. Can't get enough. Except for a little bit of that tush push. I could do a little bit less of that tush push, but everything else, we're Gucci, man. Matt's like, I've done the research. I know, oh, dog. I'm reliable. I'm a reliable source. So I got to ask a question here. When are we going to win a damn game? Can't go 0-3. Time for us to win. What do you say, Hack? No more losing? Just winning? Okay. I still believe. You can get off to a rough start. It's all right. Now, if we go like 0-10, then we're in fucking trouble. But I don't think it'll get to that point. Too good. But we need to find some goal scorers. That's the problem. That's the problem. Gru can only do so much. We need fucking goals. Yes, sir. It's time. Start of the second half. Any other photos that you want me to put up? Let me know. I mean, I'm a Mariner fan, so what am I supposed to say? Fuck the Astros and fuck the Rangers. I just fuck everybody, but I can't really, it's like I can root for the Blue Jays and the Orioles, but obviously there's a little bit more, dislike in Mariner fans' hearts to Houston rather than the Rangers. Rangers really don't bother us that much besides just like them beating us. It's not personal really. We have more beef with the Angels and the Astros. And then I like the Phillies story, and Bryce Harper getting a ring would be cool. And I like Corbin Carroll. So I kind of like the National League teams better, right? I'd rather have the National League win. I want the Phillies doing it all. Number one choice. My second choice, Diamondbacks doing it all. And the Rangers doing it all. And then the Astros. But what will probably happen? Astros, Phillies. And who will win? I hope Phillies, but Astros definitely could. I think anybody but them. But they're good enough to win it all. 10 likes to 30. Yeah, my cousin. Yoshinobu Yamagoto. All right, we're in the second half, 29-0 with a blink of an eye. It'll be 58-0. Spending late nights on Friday with Old Doggy Dog. Stanford, first half stats, 41 plays, dog shit. 115 total yards. Quarterbacks combined, 6 for 18, shitty. 35 yards, shitty. Sack 3 times. Yum, 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 yum. All right, that's it. That's what happened. You're welcome. Score 29-0. I can't wait for the Ducks and the Huskies. The most shocking thing tomorrow is if the Ducks came up there and blew them out. Now, like we ended up winning like 41-17. People would be like, "What the fuck?" Like, including Duck fans, they'd be like hella delusional. They'd be like, "Oh, we're going to the college football playoff." If we could beat Washington to like 41-17, and then we beat USC, then we just have to make sure we don't lose the trap game against Oregon State, and then we would get our hearts ripped out in the playoff. Like lose by 30 to somebody. 29-0 Buffaloes. But I don't want a 41-17 win. As much as Duck fans would love that, I want a close, competitive, epic game that I can remember for the rest of my life. Last second field goal to win. Boom shakalaka. That's the winner. 37-34 Huskies. Or Ducks. Travis Hunter, more than a 99, bro. 100. He's off the chain, dude. He's nice. It'll just be interesting to see how he gets utilized. And the perfect team for Travis Hunter. There's one team that he's perfect for: San Francisco 49ers. Then you can throw him in there with like Debo and Ayuk. What do you do? Who do you throw it to? Brock Purdy can go here. Christian McCaffrey. Oh, Kittle. Oh, Debo. Oh, no, Ayuk. Oh, Ayuk gets hurt for 4 weeks. Who gives a fuck? Travis Hunter. It'd be like an impactful shit. Like Reggie Bush going to Saints. Impactful. But that would be the number one team for Kyle Shanahan's probably like, ooh, like I could use this. And I can get him to play 2 positions and he won't bitch and complain like Debo did. I don't want to play running back and wide receiver. This guy's like, I'll play corner and wide receiver and special teams, Buster. Travis Hunter, punt returner, kick returner, wide receiver, corner. The 2023-2024 Deion Sanders. The San Francisco 49ers select Travis Hunter, University of Colorado. I mean, he can go to any team and be like, have electricity, depending on if he can stay healthy. But if you put him on a roster that has a good play caller and electricity all around it, then the bigger plays will even be bigger. Because then, who the hell do you guard? And they would be running some like jet sweeps, RPOs, pick sixes for him at corner. Oh, what happened to my hands? Travis Hunter. I didn't get to see him at Oregon. I wish I would have. Dirty play. Yeah, and he sees the game from like multiple positions. He sees it from like a quarterback, linebacker perspective, but obviously he sees it out of the eyes of a wide receiver and corner. When you have the ability to see things from multiple positions, then you're going to become a smarter player. You see tendencies more, and if you watch film and you take notes, you'll remember. Like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or get straight A's in college to be able to be a smart football player. He's got very good awareness, and I don't think he's a dummy either. So. Weaver, Dream Weaver. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Stanford sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah, I was like, damn, I've been on this fucking Little Tunchi and Millie repeat too many times. Because I am prime time. Yachty coming back to the Cards as a bench option. Yachty needs to come back and be in the goddamn game. You got to be in the lineup. That Contreras fucking shit did not work. You're like, how the hell we go from a Hall of Famer to a guy that we probably don't even want on our team after 1 year? Tell me I'm wrong. That marriage was a divorce real quick. You're like, oh, this is not good. Not. It's like first you're comparing him to Yachty or Molina. You're like, nope. And then like injuries and then shitty play. And you're like, oh, God damn it, we got fleeced. Got to figure something else out now. Yachty's like, I'm going to get out of retirement. Deion on that new Lil Wayne mixtape. Pass incomplete. Flag on the play. First down and 10, 29-0 Colorado. I just had a photo come up on my feed. My friend that is a female lawyer now and one of the most successful ones in the Pacific Northwest. It's crazy, like when you know someone from like high school times, and you can kind of like see that this will be something that will be big for them, and then it ends up happening, and then they go above and beyond. It's very cool. She is in Louisville right now. Yeah, you got to do a lot of work if you want to get into that business. Second down and 3. Pass incomplete. And the crazy thing is like she's so good looking, she could be like a model, like professionally. Like she's got like a model, like physique, like bone structure. Yeah, game over. You're going to trial, you lost. Third down and 3, 29-0 Buffaloes. Cool seeing people do big things with their life instead of being a hater. Third down and 3. And speaking of haters, Dave Chappelle's coming to Oregon soon. Definitely want to go. But I'm not going to pay like $300-$400 like Preston and a few of my friends did for like 1 hour. Like I love Dave Chappelle, but if for me to get a good seat, if I got to pay $300 or $400, that ain't worth an hour of my time. And now if it show is like 2 to 3 hours, then maybe I would consider it. But still, I'd be like, God damn, that's a lot. Like 100 per hour. But if it's like $300-$400 and I'm only getting an hour, and that's it. I mean, I don't care how many jokes you squeeze in an hour. You could squeeze in a shitload, but golly, Dave Chappelle been raking in numbers like that. $300-$400 for 1 hour for a ticket. You want a good seat. Uh-oh. Stanford's like, we need a touchdown. Yeah. But the best part about it is that you hated baseball before that. I told you it would change your life. And now you do 8 fantasy football leagues, and you even do bowling in fantasy football, right? And then you got the football, and then you do the bowling, and, you're doing the NBA, and now you're just taking, baseball to a whole nother level. And that's what it needs to happen. You need to go to a game to get the fever, you know? Like Bieber fever, but like better. Not like the Taylor Swift and the Swifties, but nothing. It's like you get a different laid back crowd. Like football crowd is fun, but as far as a laid back crowd, if I had to choose between like NBA, NHL, or MLB, give me MLB every single time. I mean, you'll get weirdos everywhere you go, especially when you go to wrestling shows. You'll get the most weirdos out of the weirdos, but still. Stanford throws it up. Oh, and he dropped it. What happened to my hands? But now you love baseball, and that's cool, man. Like, to be able to talk baseball and like have something else to talk about when it's not NFL season and you're waiting on the Saints for like 9 months. It's like nice to be able to talk Mariners, Padres, or just MLB guys in general. You got to have other hobbies and other things to follow. Otherwise, you'll be fucking miserable if you only follow like one thing all year. A federal lawyer. Respect. Yeah, and it's like out of all of the people that like we went to school with, in from freshman, sophomore, junior, senior at this, particular high school, she probably had, one of the top potentials. And it's just cool to be able to see, above and beyond. And not only like, be that profession, but to get awards of being like the best or one of the best, that's like you're going and you're doing big things, good for her. Once I see you. Third and goal. Yeah, you just got to be able to, just dive in and then you stick to it, So you want to make sure once you figure out what you want to do and then you stick with that. So it's whatever one that you like, and even if it's the best team in hockey, just stick with them after. And if they get shitty, stick with them and just you go along for the ride. I mean, I could have definitely been a bandwagon Pittsburgh Penguin fan easily, or did like Ovechkin for the Caps or whatever, because I already knew Sidney Crosby and Ovechkin were going to win Stanley Cup. So it would be like, I have something to look forward to with this franchise. Like, I will know what it feels like to be a Stanley Cup champ, as a new fan to a new team. But then I was like, nah, I don't want to be that guy, you know. And then waited, and then Kraken came, and then that was perfect, you know. Especially if I'm already a Mariner fan. And if the Seahawks back in the mid '90s had like defensive players, I would probably be a Seahawks fan or a Niner fan. It would have came down to probably one of those. And the chicken tacos. Tacos always sound good. You know what always sounds good? Tacos and spaghetti. Spaghetti is always like, and then tacos, spaghetti, bagels with cream cheese flavors, and then trying to think what else. Tacos, spaghetti, bagel with cream cheese. What else? Waffles and pancakes, crepes. Sometimes a fucking really good omelet, like, really hits the spot. And then one of my favorites that I could probably eat every day, grilled cheese sandwich. Tell me you can't eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, anytime, and you don't even need to have the tomato soup with it. Sometimes I prefer not even to have any tomato soup. I don't even need it. It just depends on my feeling. If it's like really gloomy and rainy, maybe the tomato soup comes out. But if I'm just chilling, no tomato soup, and just an extra grilled cheese, like maybe one and then another one. DJ Khaled, another one, and another one, and a pepperoni pizza. Oh yeah, that always hits too. It's that first bite. It's like that first sip of coffee, that first bite when you get the cheese and then you get into the crust and then you make a couple bites and then you get the pepperoni, right? And then you just get that combination and then the cheese and yeah, absolutely. Now I'm hungry. I'm just giving you guys ideas, so if you haven't had one of these things that we've talked about, do it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to do grilled cheese. You can be horrible in the kitchen and make a fucking really good grilled cheese. Now, you might burn the shit out of your bread a little bit, but you just get a little bit of oil in there, butter, and make sure that it's like saturated. Flip it, press down on the spatula, get the right, condensed amount of cheese in there, and then it's amazing. You can't have the burners up too high. You don't want that shit on high. You want it on like a below a medium so you can watch it. So if you did like a text message or you're watching a show, you can flip it and you're not like, burning the hash down. Like, I don't know, when you eat a grilled cheese and it's made the right way, like you feel different after eating it. Hard to explain. Same thing with like spaghetti and meatballs with the Parmesan, the good, the pasta. Jet sweep, touchdown, Cardinal, baby. And then the brick of the pep. Give me all the pepperoni. I wish I could eat fast food and eat like that, man. Like after losing all this weight, it's like I have to like fantasize about it. Like, oh damn, I know what it's like. I have to be like in the Matrix, have like a pill that tastes like pizza or something. The red pill or the blue pill? Which one will you take? But if I'm gonna do a pizza, I'm doing round table. I have to spend like $50, and then I have to get their combo pizza, the night table round table pizza, where it's got the cheese and the fucking mushroom and sausage and fucking onions and green peppers, like the best combination pizza that you're gonna have. I want that. It's like when I start eating that, I can eat more of it than just pepperoni. Pepperoni, I can eat two or three, but when I start doing that combo style, it's hard for me to like stop. It's like so good. I'm a sucker for a really good onion and green pepper. Like that takes that pizza to the next level, in my opinion. The sausage, the quality, the green pepper, and then the onion. And then if you have all of those hitting, then you can sprinkle in whatever the hell else you want. The pepperoni's on there, circular ones, the small ones, the big ones, all the cheese. Yeah, it's a good feeling. And sometimes when we get sad or shit is not going well, that's what you got to know. You got to do the comfort shit to help yourself out. Another good thing for the mental health too, if you're in like a slump, is like make bacon. Go to the store, go buy $15 thick bacon, the top of the line. Right, you never would buy it, or someone else buys it for you in the family, whatever. But go to the store, spend $15 on a package of bacon, and get the thick kind, the top of the line they have. Buy it, and then make like 4 pieces, and then just sit in the kitchen. Just listen to music and just make bacon. Smell the bacon while you're making it, while you're flipping it, not having that burner on too hot, a little bit below medium. And I don't know what to tell you, but when you do that, it changes you. Your mood improves. Throw some toast, in the oven or in the toaster. Mad butter, right? If you know how to do the eggs, do it. If you don't know how to do it, you can skip it, right? Maybe some sausage in there too. Could be patties or links, but the bacon specifically, man. And then that thick bacon too. You can put peanut butter, do a little dip, and then delicious. Got to be creative, man. But to me, that like I feel that like when you make bacon, like you start that process, even if it's only bacon and that's all you make and that's all you eat. I've done it a bunch of times. And it's like you can be in this kind of mood or it could be kind of gloomy out, and then it can even be late at night. It can be like 1 in the morning. You can make bacon, and then you just like make the bacon. I don't know, man. Like there's something about that process. It reminds you of like making bacon at camping, or maybe someone in your family did, and then just good times, good vibes. I mean, unless you're like Megan and a vegetarian or whatever, and you don't eat the meat, then fine. But for the rest of us, I feel that's a really good comfort thing. And it's faster than making the grilled cheese, less effort, and you can fuck up bacon and burn it. But that thick bacon, though, like once you buy it, you won't go back to that $5 bacon anymore. You'll be like, shit, I need to buy this bacon again. It's worth it. Bacon every day in my lunch in elementary school. I want a little fruit snack. Your mom was like, no, no, no. I'm going to make you 6 pieces of bacon, 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 bacon for lunch. Dude, you had the life, bro. No one on planet Earth had bacon in their lunch every day but you. You literally are the only one. They'd be like, I'll trade you these 2 fruit snacks for that bacon. You're like, fuck you. Oh, damn bitch asses with the goddamn Lunchables. But sometimes Lunchables are good, but sometimes it depends. Like, can't eat them every day. It's like at some point you got to take a break. Like you can eat them, 4 or 5 times, especially if you switch it up and you do like the American cheese, and then you do the yellow cheese, the cheddar, then you do the pizza. Like I bought them. So it's like they have a couple options, but sometimes you want something warm, and that's just like something cold, but it gets the job done. I would rather have a sandwich like a BLT, or like turkey sandwich, or it's like the Lunchable is good for a couple days. But at some point, give me like a really good sandwich, like a bag of chips or like a pickle or bacon. Oh, damn bitch ass kids with the Lunchables. 29-6 Buffaloes. Elliot's lunch, bacon. That was good. Now the real question is, did you only get 1 piece of bacon because you were a kid, or did your mom put in 2 pieces of bacon in there for you, or did she go crazy and like throw like 6 pieces in there? I imagine she didn't want to try to give you diabetes or a heart attack, so probably like 1 piece. I would put my money on, but if you were lucky and special and she wanted to be extra special, maybe 2 pieces. So I love Elliot. 2 pieces. 5 or 6. God damn. She gave almost half the package. She loves you. Yeah, she loves you. You lucky, bro. You didn't get the mom that loved you with 1 bacon or even 2 pieces where it's like, I love Elliot, right? No. She's straight like Mike Tyson, that shit. 6 pieces? Damn. Love is strong in that family. That's talk about going above and beyond. Shout out to your mom. That's awesome, dude. 6 pieces. The Costco bacon. And I like the thinner crispy and the cheaper kind. But sometimes when you get the thicker quality, man, you can tell a difference. When it hits with an omelet or with eggs or toast with jam on it or peanut butter or butter, I don't know, man. Like something changes. When you get that good sausage or you get that good bacon. It's just like hamburger. You can eat hamburger, but the different levels of hamburger and the toppings take it to an elite level. I like to go to Flavortown. It's a thing of mine. You might have been there before. Why are you hooking the defender? Third down and 13, And I want some of these. Bacon covered glizzy. 3rd and 13. Come on, Shador. There we go. Shake and bake. Oh, that would have been amazing. Shador. And the Kirkland brand. Reflect with the Father. That's my boy. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. I watched a couple episodes of The Unexplained with William Shatner today. Very good show. Highly recommend. I watched Ghost Adventures on Discovery Channel last night and the night before. Highly recommend. Better than a Mike Bring Bang. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. I mean, obviously with technology, even just going over history, it's like Roswell, and then all of a sudden, a little bit after that, everything took off with our technology, with helicopters, airplanes, and the automobile. Coincidence? I think not. Reverse engineering, very possible. And if you actually have looked or read a science book, or Degrassi, and with Neil, and anyone that knows anything about NASA or space exploration, if you really realize how tiny Earth is in the aspects of how things are, like in the as far as like our universe and the like how everything is situated, um, yeah, it's very, very highly possible that there's many, 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 and there's things that are very, very far away and technology way more advanced. I think it's very ignorant to think that we are the top and it's only us. I mean, not 100% no. I mean, I like to be able to watch a wide variety of programming on Discovery, History, National Geographic, uh, you know, real shit, real recognizes real, like on Vice, and everyone's going to have their own opinions and theories, but I mean, nobody is really going to know the ultimate truth, depending on how far it goes back, because there could be a record, right? But the record that is left behind, is it made from someone that was truthful, or is it someone that is making something up and is just getting passed down? What we get in history sometimes may not actually be truth from back in the day. We'll never know. We can only go based off observation, history, and going over what we see and observing and coming up with conclusions if this is what we think actually happened, or if it's just something that was passed down, but it is maybe not entirely true. Yeah. Well, also too, it's like like Bigfoot, for example, or Yeti. I definitely think that's 100% real, because if you live out here in the Pacific Northwest, you could go camping a lifetime, right, and never see a bear in person, never, right, and go to many, many locations, never see one. But just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Especially if a lot of them come out at night. And some people think it might be some unidentified species, or something hybrid, or something like that. But if you want to go towards something like a Loch Ness, obviously that legend I think has a little bit more of like fake publicity stuff. Go baby, go, go, go baby, yes, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Stanford Cardinal. That was sweet. Yeah. Um, but I mean, there's a lot of things that are very that we don't know. Like, supposedly, we know more about space than we do under our own oceans and our own waters. So we barely know what's underneath. So I think there's a lot of
speculation, regardless, of what you know or how much school you've had or how much you've read or not read. Everyone is going to have their own opinion, but I definitely think there's a lot of unexplained and a lot of things that exist, that are out there. Aliens, sure. Bigfoot, absolutely. Spirits, absolutely. I mean, all you got to do is have experiences happen to yourself, or watch things that happen that are real. Like if you don't think spirits and certain things are real, right? Watch Ghost Hunters, right? Watch that on Discovery, and I guarantee you can watch any of the 20 years that it's been in existence. When they go to some of the most haunted places on planet Earth, and the audio and the video footage does not lie. You, like I said, you could be skeptical all you want, and it's not like every place is going to be haunted or spirits or some type of ghost, right? But if you watch that show, you will become a believer. If you are skeptical and you don't believe in ghosts or spirits, you will have a different opinion after watching that show. And some of the stuff that happens in that show will shake you to your core. It is crazy. 29-12 Buffaloes. Paisley's doing good. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that's underground too. Personal bunkers from personal people, government stuff, people that are private companies. There's all kinds of stuff that's like underground. Like people don't think that people are living like in cities underground, like they're crazy. Like there's a lot of stuff that people don't think that are going on that is going on. Or it's like finding an ecosystem inside of a hole in the earth that leads to a whole nother ecosystem, like another jungle that's like inside of the earth, like in like a hole that opened up. Like there's a lot of stuff that we have no idea, or that only very few people have seen, and maybe they've come back, or maybe they haven't. Hundreds of species always getting, discovered every day. To act like Bigfoot or a Bigfoot type of creature doesn't exist across the globe, I think is, I don't want to say ignorant, you know what I mean? Because obviously everyone can believe in whatever they want, but I live out here in the Pacific Northwest, and I'll tell you, um, there's things that you can't just, that there's things out there that, I don't know. I mean, it ain't human. But I guess until we end up getting a body of a Bigfoot alive or dead, or Loch Ness, and it actually gets released to the public, who's to say that we don't actually have one right now? Third down and 4. I mean, government has always told us that nothing exists, and now files are coming out that shit does exist, and they do have footage, and shit is released. So what does that mean? They're like, no, no, no. We don't want to freak out the American public and have them riot and then steal everyone's shit and act a fool. And then now it took 50, 60, 70, 80 years later. And like, yeah, it's real. Yeah, they're across the globe. They've been here for a long time. And then, why? And then releasing footage. Like, why would you release military footage that's real, from military vehicles if it wasn't, why would you do that? 29-12, Colorado. I don't know. I like to read a lot, so like I like to be able to make my own opinion, watch multiple theories about something, look at it from both points of view, and then try to read and watch as much, and then I try to come to a conclusion. I can't just like watch one point of view in one show and be like, "Yep, I believe it." You know. Yeah, I like watching Ancient Aliens. Some stuff they do on the show is a reach, but there is some stuff that is very significant that I think that does, show some truth. Some stuff looks like it could be coincidence, with certain things, and other things that I feel like there is some really good truth. Uh-oh, little flea flicker. Stanford. Oh, oh, almost picked. Yeah. If you've actually watched any program that goes over Bigfoot within the last like 5 years, you would realize that if you actually go through the history, people can say that certain things are hoaxes and whatnot, but the technology based off the suit that was made, they didn't have that technology back then to make a suit like that. You know what I mean? So like when you're seeing muscles move and you're seeing like like go 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 go, one guy to beat. Yes, touchdown, Cardinal. That Colorado defense is starting to open up. But if you've actually seen it, they've broken down the frames where you can see the movements of the animal. That is no fucking suit. Period. Like there's people that can say, "Oh, this is a fake footprint, this or that." But when they actually go through and they have the highest end of technology and they break it down frame by frame, and you can actually see the muscles moving. They don't have that. Like they brought in the top Hollywood costume makers that did the best of the best of the best for the movies. And everyone agrees that there is no technology to make something that would be skin tight, even around the muscles that would move like that, did not exist at the time. So, and then the way that the muscles are moving, like they didn't have a skin suit. Like most of the time, it's like a hairy suit that just kind of goes over the body, But when you end up having a fake one that is skin tight to reveal muscle movement, you know, I think there's a lot of fake stuff with footage and a lot of fake stuff with like noises. But I think that there's some noises that are real, and I think if there was a film that would be real, it was that one. I mean, I've read every report on those guys, and then the people that have speculated it was fake. People that said, yeah, it's fake. One guy is dead and the other is still alive and whatnot. But to me, I think that particular footage is real. Yeah. I don't know. I read a lot. Like I've read multiple books, programs, and then I like watching the stuff that is new, that they end up bringing up, and especially if it's going to be technology, so that way they can break it down frame by frame. But you can actually see in the famous film, The Patterson, like the butt cheek and like the calf move. Like you can see like the ripples, in it. Like it doesn't move like a human. Like there's certain like when you see certain fakes and certain things, like you can tell it's like a person that moves, that's trying to move like an ape or an animal. But like certain movements cannot be faked. I don't know. I think it's very, like I said, I think it's very, very plausible that you can find a 5 foot to a 9 foot animal that lives pretty much at night, but sometimes has to come out during the day to survive. And it's something that that might be a hybrid of something. It ended up advancing and living, and you can't have reports of something that's everywhere and everyone is lying. At some point, people are telling the truth. You can't just be like, oh, India, they're lying. Oh, Japan, they're lying. Oh, Germany, they're lying. Canada, oh, they're lying. Oh, America, they're lying. You know, at some point, people want to hop on to something that's a fresh thing, but also there's got to be some truth. 29-19, Stanford Cardinal. Shotgun set, push the door. Look out. God, he gets sack lunch all the time. So, you know what time it is? Time for sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Like it went from being like a boring game that we talk about aliens, Bigfoot, and spirits. Quality programming on Discovery Channel, History, National Geographic. Those are my favorite, man. I love watching cartoons and like shows like Dexter. But if I'm in the living room and I'm watching a show, first thing I go to is Discovery. Then I go to History. Then I go to Nat Geo. I'm always looking for that type of program. I want to be educated every day. I want to learn something new every day. Like if I go a day without learning something new, I'm an idiot. Like I need to be able to advance my brain. And I like learning about other people's cultures and how they live and how they go through trials and tribulations. The door, flag down. Get that walk in. You going to be here tomorrow for Huskies and Ducks? Reflect. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. I'll be doing the stream tomorrow. I'll be online probably like a half hour before. Like, I don't really drink beer, and I don't drink beer on the stream. There is a possibility that I may get a Modelo Chelada or two to celebrate this matchup, or a Corona 6-pack with lime. Kind of sounds good. Oh man. Well, but it's going to be fun either way. Win or loss, I'm going to have a blast. Just because if it was anybody else, I'd be pissed. Like if USC beats us, I'll be mad. But I like Michael Penix Jr. is like my favorite in college football. And it's like I want him secretly to kind of do good and win the Heisman, win the championship. If it can't be Oregon, I want it to be UW. And no Oregon fan that has any type of brain would ever say that. But I look at greatness not just like the team and the players. Like I'm jealous. I wish Michael Penix Jr. was an Oregon legend. Shit, I'd probably have 3 jerseys by now. All the colors. Almost picked off. Get your steps in. I've done 2 walks today for 45 minutes, and I got 1 more to do tonight. I got to see if it's raining. I got to get those steps in with Paisley, but this last one will probably only be like 15 to 20 minutes. I like making sure that she gets a lot of exercise, and I like to have adventures with her. It's fun. Sometimes it's just me and her out there. And it's just me, her, and darkness, nature, the streets, our hood. Oh, yeah. Huskies. Go Huskies. Go Ducks. And definitely Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. on the thumbnail. Oh, yeah. Take it easy, brother. Keep staying smart. A fun weekend. Ducks, Huskies, Lions, Bucks, Lions. But still, hopefully it ends up being close. And if I'm wrong, God bless the sports gods. If I can get a Buccaneer Duck win, oh my God, I don't know what I'd do with myself. Get out of there. God, Shedeur Sanders gets sacked like a billion times. It's like I'm watching Joey Harrington on the Lions in his rookie year. Or fucking David Carr on the fucking Texans in his rookie year. It was like every play was a sack. Shedeur. I need to go get my snap owl. All right, let me go grab my snap owl. Oh my God. Snapple apple is made from the gods. It literally is at the point where it's been in the freezer for like an hour and a half, and it's literally like slushy, almost to the point where you had it in the freezer too long and you got to melt it. Not that bad, but it's at the point where it's almost ready to get to that point. The liquid is still going. Swirl it up a little bit, and then it's like 7-Eleven right there in your very house. But then it's just like a candied apple type of taste from the fair, but there's no caramel or caramel, however you say it. And the Snapple apple flavor is golly. I used to love Mango Madness, and I like that kiwi strawberry, but the Snapple apple hits different. It is so delicious. I should get a sponsorship with Snapple because, like, I would definitely rock it. I mean, shit, I do almost every day when I can afford it. That's the sponsorships that I'm looking for, not like betting websites from some foreign country. Like I want to be able to do like the good products: Snapple, Gatorade, Corona, Modelo, Chelada. or something like Dr. Squatch with those like custom soaps. Like I got a Star Wars edition of the soaps, and they were badass. Like that company, like you get some really cool like smells, from the soaps, and they're pretty good sized bars, so you'll use them for a while instead of like a body wash. And like your body does feel a little bit different, like after washing with one of those high end custom soaps, rather than like a grocery store or like a body wash. I thought it was pretty badass. I should have not used the soaps though because they were Star Wars, but I had to. They were too cool not to. Kiwi, oh, dude, kiwi strawberry is the worst one out of them all. Snapple, apple, and mango madness, baby. I feel like I'm having a drink from like the fair, or I'm at 7-Eleven and I'm like doing a Slurpee. Amazing. 100% correct. Exactly. It shows that the O line is dog shit and the defense is dog shit, but it'll get better. This is his first year. You know what I'm saying? Like they've already exceeded expectations. People love or hate Dion. People are talking about college football. It's good. The exposure is good compared to I feel like Taylor Swift and the Chiefs, where it's more like fake. Dion is trying to get people to see him, see Colorado, represent, and get people to watch college football. With the Taylor Swift in the NFL, it's all about taking Taylor Swift Swifties and joining the NFL.com and building their followers and their fan base up. That's what it's about. And that I don't like that because that's like fake shit. It's like using people and it's like fake, fake, fake. It's like we already deal with so many fake people that are out there. It's like ass kissing her and showing her and talking about her, so that way that they can be on good terms with her and trying to get the people brainwashed that only listen to her music to join the NFL and buy NFL merch, because she's at the game. So let's take advantage of that and try to make money off all the Swifties. Like the intentions are not pure, and I don't like that shit. Neo Geo. Neo Geo. Nat Geo. I love me some Nat Geo. But I usually go through like discovery and history first because I want it to be like my brain stimulated. I want to learn something. I want to see something that's like educational, or I want to see something that's like mystery, whatever it may be. And then if I get into like the animal vibe, I'm like, all right, boom, Nat Geo, I can go there. Or Animal Planet. Animal Planet's badass too. They got some good programs on there. It's soothing for the soul. But see, for me, I'd rather do a 2-for-1. So I like watching programs like Life Below Zero. So they're in the middle of Alaska and they're trying to like survive on their own. So I get the views of the lakes and the snow, which gives my mental health a boost. And then when they're doing the show, they show like sled dogs or wolves. So I get the animal side of it, and I get the snow and the water and the nature, and that shit makes my heart feel better, and like it makes me feel better like overall. Other than that, or watching like a throwback cartoon or something, but like that's the first thing that I watch after I'm done streaming to like stimulate my mind and then like make me feel better about things. Blue Moon is 100% my favorite beer. Blue Moon with orange peel. Nothing is like Blue Moon from the bar. Like when it's fresh out of the keg and then you get that fresh orange peel. Not the orange that's been sitting there for 3 days at the bar, but a fresh one. Oh man, unbelievable. So good. And you don't have to drink too many to feel comfy. So you can drink like 2 or 3, and if you drink them pretty fast, you'll be comfortable. You can be even sipping on 2 or 3 and get comfortable. So a good Corona with lime, I absolutely love. That's like on top for me. Like I love that. I mean, like I said, I got a lot of friends that are Asian and Mexican and stuff, and so it's like that's kind of like the go-to instead of like Budweiser, unless they're doing like IPA or doing something else. Because Oregon's always known for beer, so it's like wine and beer, and people get crazy with it. So it's like not everyone's gonna get Coors Light. People will go IPA or citrus. Like people are pretty fucking adventurous here, and you can go light beer or dark beer. I prefer if I'm gonna go for the expensive one, a lighter citrusy type. I don't really like the malt, kind of the thickness of the darker beer. But if I have to have a dark beer, maybe once a year, I'll do it. But I'm not having it all the time. So, but everyone's got a different palate of a taste bud. I was watching The Unexplained with William Shatner, and it was talking about the deadly lions. I think it was in a foreign country. I'm not sure if it was Africa or somewhere else, but these two little lions had plenty of food to eat at the location. One of them had a dental disease and had like a tooth that was fucked up, and they thought that the cat got angry because of they weren't going to be able to take down water buffalo, so that they started to attack the humans. But then in this big attack, I think like over 100 people got killed, by these two fucking lions. And they decided that they could have ate all these other things. One had dental disease, the other didn't, but they just were like, okay, these are easier to hunt, and then they just hit one together, and then they kept doing it over and over, and then like 100 people fucking died out of these two fucking lions. I like shit like that, interesting stuff, kind of tragic, and other times it's just like the observation of tigers and lions in Africa, like a safari type shit, which is cool. Oh, back shoulder incomplete. It's really cool. Cats and dogs recognize Animal Planet and shows with cats and dogs and other animals in it. Because I'll be watching like Life Below Zero or any Alaska program, and then if they have sled dogs on there, Paisley will see them and start like staring and like looking, like not barking, but just like observing and seeing like how they live and everything. She's very smart. Like she'll come in here and I'll look at her dead in the eyes. And I'll be like, Dad's got to work. I want you to go lay on the couch, take a nap, get comfortable, and I'll check up on you, and I'll see you in a couple hours. And she'll just look at me and then she'll go. Like it's pretty crazy. It's a cool bond. She's a very, very smart girl. 29-19. This game's actually pretty damn good. Like I'm glad that Stanford is actually fighting. Colorado will win, but at least like it's not 29-0. At that point, then I'd be throwing up like lion and tiger videos and photos and shit right now. Yeah, Blue Moon with the orange peel, Corona with the lime. Those are my top two. And I like the people that make their own beer here in Oregon and like Washington, because like sometimes like when they're really good at it, one beer is like 10%. So it's like having two or three beers in one, like one glass. Like all of a sudden you drink one glass, one cup, one glass, and then all of a sudden you feel like you've had five. That alcohol content is hella high. Like I remember like having some, and I had like one cup or two, and I was like, I was ready for a nap. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like, golly. But the taste is amazing because it doesn't taste like bad. It's like it's just like with the malt and everything that's like mixed in. But you'll get like good tasting beer with like 8 to 10% content, which was like if you have something that has 8 to 10% alcohol wise, usually it tastes like shit. So it's like that'll get you. I mean, that's what you want, right? Something that tastes good. First down and 10. Stanford knocking on the door again. Sweet for nothing. Lime, cherry, or strawberry. Yeah, no. I mean that's gonna be like some like daiquiri, some other jump off. Like you only be doing that. It's like jungle juice type stuff. You go crazy, party style type stuff. All kinds of fruits and like alcohols and vodkas and stuff. No, but the orange peel in the Blue Moon is insane. It's a good beer without the orange, but then you got the orange in there. Oh my god, it takes it to another level. Nice check down. Yeah, momentum is in Stanford's favor. For show. For show. I'm getting that for show. Time for you to watch Superbad, Elliot. Time for me to watch Superbad. When in doubt, Superbad. Watch it. Enjoy it. Love it. A flag on the play. Superbad's on Netflix. Oh, damn. PG version or like the regular version? Hell, I would be upset too if defense is ass. How you letting fucking Stanford, who's one of the worst teams in the Pac-12, come back? Yeah, one of these days, like when I get like rich or whatever, we'll have to do like a video where it's just like us watching Superbad, and then just us like eating pepperoni pizza, and I can do whatever extracurriculars, and then we can just watch Superbad. That would be a good video. Touchdown, Stanford. We would be quoting the fucking movie. It's like Step Brothers. Like I can quote like Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura when Nature Calls. I mean, there's probably like 5 or 6 good comedies that I can. Not every line, but and I wouldn't like say it every line. I don't want to be annoying. I want to enjoy. But some parts of the movie are like too good not to repeat. McLovin. My boy. Stanford coming back, baby. 29-0, now 29-26. Would you look at that? And how did he get that in? He's lucky. We'd have a good time with it. And I could watch it sober, or I could, I can have a beer too, whatever. I feel you'd have like good conversations. Like I feel like like when people are doing like interviews and whatnot, that would be something that I want to be able to watch something while we're vibing. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes if you just get put on the spot, you don't get real answers. But when you're in like a relaxed environment, like sitting on the couch, feet up, or each person's in a lazy boy, but we're just chilling right next to each other, eating, just watching, reciting the lines, vibing, then you can have some like real talk. Superbad, baby. I've been drinking that for years. I recently heard they added some hops to it. Let me see your ID. I've been drinking that for years. Are you okay, mister? Oh man, so good. You living life, baby. All right, Colorado. Man, Ducks and Huskies just in like not that much time from now. Ooh, baby. McLovin is the fucking goat. Dude, like we should like at some point I need to become like rich and famous and shit, and then we could do the video with you, me, and McLovin. Like, what would be better than that? Goddamn nothing. You on one side, me on the other, McLovin in the middle. He probably hates that movie. You know, certain people they like, you know, they don't want like a movie to define them or their career or whatever. Hell, if I was McLovin and I made that movie, I would be so goddamn proud. I'd be like, dude, I'm like one of the icons. Very, very good movie. Ah, you're an organ donor. First down and 10, 29, 26. 26 unanswered for Stanford. Shador, Travis Hunter. Ah, you're an organ donor. Well, the offensive line just needs to step up. I mean, you don't want to lose to goddamn Stanford. Michael with a dono. He doesn't want me to eat air sandwiches for dinner. Thank you. Appreciate you. A bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. You never know what we're going to talk about on this channel. That's what makes it so diverse. Going deep. Oh, baby. First down, Buffaloes. We'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about aliens, and then Bigfoot, and then spirits and ghosts, and then back to Colorado in prime time because that's what we do. And food. Bang, bang. Mike Breen. Shotgun set. Good tackle. I mean, you want to be able to get to a spot where you're like going somewhere in a stream where it's like entertainment, but you learn something. A lot of places it's just entertainment. But you don't learn shit. 45, Elliott, he knows 55 to go. Hunter with the tutty. There we go. He lasered that in there, baby. Oh, and shout out to Mo Gumbo. He dropped a 20 to me last night at the end of the pass stream. So shout out to him. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got to Michael. You got a favorite player, favorite wrestler, whatever it is, let me know. Favorite food, drop it in the chat, and I'll find the best HD 4K photo that money can buy. Thank you for the don't know. I mean, the only thing that's really missing from the exposure point of the channel is like blowing up is just being able to get the right eyeballs on it. Recognizes real suckers. That was a wicked pisser. 36-26 Buffaloes. Elliot, have you watched Dexter all the way through? You'd love that shit if you haven't watched it already. It's like super addictive watching that. It's like certain shows for me, it's like very tough for me to put down. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we know that the offense, can be in the upper half of the Pac-12. Defense is terrible. Offensive line not very good, but they could still end up winning maybe 7 or 8 games, and that's a huge success for a school that normally only wins like one. So I mean, you got to be able to like. What did anyone think? Did anyone think that they're going to go from 1 win to 11? They're not going to go from 1-10 to 11-1 or 10-1. It's going to take time, but at some point when they go to the Big 12, since Oklahoma and Texas are going to SEC, Colorado could end up winning the Big 12 in the next couple of years if they keep recruiting and keep getting all these star players that want to play for Dion and then go to the NFL from there. We should probably expect it that in like 5 years, Colorado will probably be a powerhouse in the Big 12. 5 years of Dion recruiting, you're going to probably get some good shit. All right? How about some Cordell Stewart? Good choice. And I'll hit you Cordell from college and Cordell in the NFL. It was easy to root for Cordell. It was like kind of the first time you saw a player like him, and he was very likable. I don't know if there was a lot of people that were like, fuck that guy. I think a lot of people liked him. Like they knew that he wasn't like a top 5 quarterback, but no one cared. They were just like, this is kind of cool. It's different. Look at that shiny ass Steeler rim. Bling, bling. Every time you come to my city, bling, bling. Like we're in Vegas with poker chips or something. What up, bruh? He's like, where is that dog? He needs more followers. I will get there. Cordell. Yeah, very likable. Looks like they had Neil O'Donnell, Cordell. They were really known for more of like the defensive guys. Kevin Green. Defense was beast, especially like in that particular era. Bill Cowher. Bo Nix, number 8, Oregon Ducks versus number 7, Washington Huskies. Oh man, so excited! I'll probably be up at like 5 or 6 a.m. No lie, I'm gonna be jacked. Shit, I might have to go to the store and get some beverages possibly. Normally I don't, and I've tried to really be good about things, but that would be a game that I was like, I would rather do it then than do it like at the Super Bowl. Like I want to be able to. I mean, even if my team was in it, but sometimes it's like I want to do more eating when I'm watching a game. If I'm calling a game, I just want to like. Sometimes I don't want to just just get trashed. But I definitely got some chips, some snacks. So go Ducks, go Bucks. Huskies, Lions, some other time. Ducks, Buccaneers, let's fucking go. And one game is at home and one game's on the road. So on the road, we got some fire unis, the eggshell, and then at home, we're wearing the creamsicles for the Buccaneers. So it's like I'm going to get two amazing uniform options, and we'll see what happens. 36-26 Buffaloes. 10 minutes to go. All you got to do is believe. I like Stanford fighting. It almost feels like, a David Shaw inspired Stanford team that's like actually trying to come back. But, David Shaw had Andrew Luck. You got no Andrew Luck now. Snapple apple from the heavens. Damn, it's crazy. I'm going to be able to wear that Doug Williams creamsicle jersey. Sits in there all year. I wear it like once a year. Tried it on. I got the custom 76 patch on it. Sewn. Good old Doug Williams. Travis Hunter, he's crazy. It's crazy. I used to listen to music when I walked Paisley, but now I like to be able to embrace nature, where I'm going. So I don't bring a phone or anything, listening music device. But usually if I'm exercising, it'll be like hip hop. Um, but it's like driving, it's more like rock or like Aussie or like Red Hot Chili Peppers. It kind of just depends on my mood, like Green Day or I can go in many, many different ways and stuff. But I feel like with car music, it's more like I don't necessarily need to hear like the like rap stuff. That's more like exercise music and stuff like that and chill music. But if you're in the vehicle, I think it like more rock type stuff is something I like a little bit more. Love me some Ozzy. My dog. This shit is eternal. The Mo Gumbo. He did. Yeah. He watched a little bit of the broadcast. He said he fell asleep in his car. He woke up and then watched kind of the end, and you know, pretty much like keep grinding. Keep going. Things will get better. And then shot your boy at 20, which was awesome. 35 to go, almost there. And then we'll do Ducks and Huskies. I'll be live around 12:15, and that'll be 12:30 to like 3:30. Do a reaction video to it at some point after. Go, 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 go! High stepping on Shiloh too. And then flag on the 30, and then we'll do Lions and Bucks at 1 on Sunday, and then I'll do reaction videos after that as well. And we'll skip Buffalo, Bills, and the Giants. That way I can do a few more reaction videos and keep going on the momentum. And we're 5 subs away from 20,100. So we only need 5 more to get 100 over, which is cool. So we just got to keep going. So got to keep doing reaction videos, keep grinding on the live streams, and try to do as many events as we can. Try to hit the algorithm, and eventually we'll have our time. Britney Spears or Taylor Swift. When I moved out of high school, I had a Britney Spears poster on my fucking wall when I was like 17, 18. This would have been around like the year 2000, 2001. I had all the CDs back in the day. 98 Degrees, NSYNC, and the Backstreet Boys. I had all three. I listen to pretty much everything. I listen to pop. I listen to R&B. I listen to rap. I listen to rock. I listen to wrestling introduction music where it's kind of like metal and shit. Like, it kind of just depends on the vibe. But, and I love like, I mean, shit, I've already said this a lot, but like my first 5 CDs shaped my life forever. It was like fucking Dr. Dre, The Chronic when I was 10, Doggy Style when I was 12 with Snoop Dogg, All Eyes on Me, Tupac double album in like 95, Biggie double album around the same time, and then with Notorious um, and Hypnotize and all that. And then my fifth CD was Bone Thugs and Harmony, Eternal 1999. So I literally, the first of the month, like I literally had the best five to be influenced by the rap game moving forward at that particular time. So, but I'm a big Eminem person too, like E40, Eminem, um, Ozzy. I do like Drake. I like Drake's old stuff though, not like kind of like the singing to the ladies stuff. The stuff that has that like slower beats and whatnot. I don't like that, but I like the nothing was the same. Like, the Blue album where he's like staring at himself as a kid. Like started from the bottom. Now we here. Like I like the old, the Take Care. Like the old school shit. Like his first couple. That's the stuff that is like eternal to me. Kind of like Kanye. I like Kanye's early stuff, but as he went along and got further along with the Kardashians and all that, it's like you know. I know he can still be a genius and make good music, but nothing will ever touch Kanye like Through the Wire, and going in from the very, very beginning. Same thing with Drake. Like the music is still good, but it's not like touches your soul and like you can relate. Like when you can get like a hip hop song that you can relate, then it's like you're doing something. It's not just lyrics or a good beat. Like it's going deeper. 36, 26, Buffaloes. Come on, Stanford. We bobbled it. Tush push his ass. Hawkeyes and the Badges. Are you going to win or lose? Elliot, my boy. 36, 26. How the hell did they get that many points? That's crazy. And they're knocking on the door. Third and goal. Right there. Yeah, I think that's PI on Colorado. Automatic first down. Illegal substitution. Third down. It's terrible. It's not sus. It's terrible. Wow. Bryce Farrell. No one on planet Earth, everyone went to sleep, and then they're going to look at the final score in the morning. They're like, what the fuck happened? I turned it off when it was 29-0. What the hell? That's why I like watching college football. You never know what you might get. On paper, it looked like it could be terrible, and then the game plays out better than you thought. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it's much worse than what you thought. But today, like more like Colorado sucks, kind of, and Stanford is fighting. Colorado's a long ways away from being a dominant team, but they're getting there. But they still have a lot of holes to fix, defense and O-line specifically. But at least they got the quarterback, and well, I don't know what's going to happen after Shedeur leaves. Like, what are you going to get at quarterback there? It has to be a good player. If not, they're fucked. Yeah. Your boy is hungry for dinner. 10:30 at night. Hungry. I haven't even put up any Ducks representation in this whole stream. Of course, I'm not biased. Maybe it's time, though. Maybe it's time. What do you say, sports gods? Ducks and Buccaneers? Bo knows. And we're always swagged up. Always. That's one thing that you'll get from people that are from Oregon. We're swagged up, dude, all the way. Nike, we got the Nike money. We got the best helmets. We got the jersey combo, the best fucking cleats, the best fucking gloves. Everything just fire, 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 fire. Swag, 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 swag. Kind of cool. Go Ducks. Let's go, baby. Swag, 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 swag. 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 So fresh and so clean, clean. Let's go. All right, that's enough duck representation until tomorrow. Tomorrow. Hell, they need like fucking 5 Shiloh Sanders. They need 4 Travis Hunters, 5 Shiloh Sanders. They need some help. 36-33. Troy Franklin, Bucky Irvin, baby. We got some offensive linemen, though, that are pretty fire in our secondary. We got some defensive players that are starting to step up. I've seen some reports on the Twitter and the X, going over some of these Duck players, getting some love. I get to use Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and Amon-Ra in fantasy this week. I feel pretty good. But no Jeff Wilson off the IR yet. That sucked. Achane is on fucking IR, and I can't even use Jeff Wilson. Son of a bitch. Laporta got an injury. Son of a bitch. Hollywood Brown got a sickness, illness. Son of a bitch. Jay Jetta on IR. Can't even use him. My first pick. God damn it. But good thing I got Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and Amon-Ra. So that way, if this Jay Jetta thing happened, I'm not screwed. And I went like running back heavy, and I have no one to replace him. So, oh yeah, I gotta decide what jersey I want to wear. If I want to wear Michael James from the Natty in 2010, or if I want to wear Joey Harrington's Stone jersey from 2001. Like I don't know. I got the D'Anthony on today. I mean, I would wear the Justin Herbert apple green, but if you put it on the green screen, all you see is my floating head. You won't see my shoulders or my body. It'll just be floating head O-Dog. And I finally opened up a hoodie that I got for Christmas last year for my dad that I just never really opened it because I just have so many clothes. And I just opened it and tried it on yesterday. Oh, it's nice. I got all kinds of like duck stuff that sometimes it takes me a couple months or a year to open because I just don't need it at the time. But it's a nice one, nice and comfortable. Just looking at my fantasy lineup. I'm always on this son of a bitch. When it's fantasy season, I'm a crazy person. I'm literally on this fucking app like at least a couple times an hour. Like I'll be on it for as much as I read and I'm watching film. I'm probably spending like 4 hours a day on the fantasy app, spying on everyone's team, looking at everybody on the wire, looking at my team and seeing how I can improve it to make sure I go to the playoffs and win the championship or at least compete. Always looking at depth, depth, depth. You know, every single team, every single player, every single fucking position. I take it fucking serious. No wasted pieces on my bench. Everyone could be a starter. That's how you build a championship squad, baby. No DeForest Buckner or Eric Armstead. I actually have no Ducks defensive jerseys because they just really don't make them. They're very, very rare in Oregon to get a defensive jersey. And if I was going to get one, um, they did Kayvon Thibodeau, but if I was going to get one, I would get a vintage sewn Haloti Ngata or a vintage screen print Haloti Ngata. That's what I would get. I've actually had like thoughts of getting one about 5 years ago, but I just didn't have the money for it. But if I was gonna get a vintage, and like that would be it. Haloti Ngata, vintage Ducks jersey, and then I would get a vintage Mike Allstott jersey, white one from back when he played. Reebok. They put Shaq and Allen Iverson in charge of Reebok, so we're gonna see some shoes again. You know, like the Shaqs and the answers with the Iversons. So they're going to try to bring that brand back a little bit, which should be pretty cool because you'll probably eventually get a couple stars from different sports sign on and get paid, and then they'll have their custom shoe. And not every shoe for Reebok will hit, but if it's just like the answer, it was like Iverson shoe, that one sold really, really well because everyone loved Iverson, including me. 36-33 Buffaloes. Ooh, big hit. You got fucking popped. No, but I got Black Mamba. I got the Mamba sewn in the back, custom with this one sewn. I got the LaMichael James Natty jersey from 2010 sewn. Got the patch on eBay. I got the James sewn in the back. I had a Mariota with the green wings. I gave that to Dave as a birthday present and a chain. You know, so that way he can have the outfit because he doesn't really have any like swaggy jerseys. He was just gonna wear like a fucking t-shirt or hoodie. I'm like, fuck that. I was like, we're gonna go in style. And then I just told him that he could keep it. And that was my special Mariota one too. That was like 150, 200, like, sewn, really cool colors on the wings and the numbers that year. Had a very cool tint of the fabric that they used on it. Um, Justin Herbert, apple green sewn. So anytime, and then the Joey Harrington sewn from Nike that actually has Harrington sewn on the back. They don't do name sewn on the back unless it's like a specialty jersey, and they only did it for like a couple of years. And they were lucky enough to create, Heisman, for Joey campaign, Harrington for Heisman, and then they decided to make the Joey Harrington white as well as the green and black jersey sewn. But the white one is incredibly rare. And when I got mine, I got it from a guy in Ohio and didn't know the value of it. It's worth like $300, and I got it for 30. Even if it's used, like you just don't see that jersey. The other one, the green and black one, that's like the common one, the home one. The white sewn one is just like nearly impossible. I looked for it for like 30 years and then 20 years, and I finally found it. Yeah, super fire. It's all about the chains and the gloves, Bubba. Yeah. Also, getting the name sewn in the back of the jerseys is super dope because most, fans that wear college football jerseys, they know there's no name. So anytime you see a college jersey with a name, you're like, ooh, that motherfucker customized it. And but the thing is the nameplate on the back only is big enough for 3-inch letters for 5 of them. So because we don't have the same type of college jersey fabric. So when you buy like the one from the team store or whatever, so like I was lucky, LaMichael James, James, it fit. But if you use like 2-inch letters, it's too small and it looks fake. It doesn't look good. So you have to use the same size as like the other sports, like NFL, to make it look good. And then I couldn't do Thomas for D'Anthony because it was one letter too much. So I did Mamba, Mamba, or he does Momba to be different from Kobe Bryant and whatever. But I didn't want to put Momba on my shit. So I did like Mamba. So I did that. And then Herbert, I don't have a name on that one. And then my Harrington one has its own, but it's through Nike, like in that special exclusive. So 4th down and 4, incomplete by Shadow Sanders. And then they have the Ducks, Kenny Wheaton, and they've like remade that jersey a couple times with the Kenny Wheaton 20 Ducks, with the big pick on UW. What took us to the Rose Bowl for the very first time in a long time in '94. That kind of put us on the map. And then in 2000, Joey Harrington really put the Ducks on the map, and that's why Joey's probably my favorite. Like I like Justin Herbert a lot now, but the person that made me really fall in love with Duck football was Joey Harrington. Even though I watched it many, many years before that with like Chris Miller, Atlanta Falcons, Tony Graziani, and all the other guys that we had in between. But Joey was really, really special, and it was unfortunate that his Lions, career and Steelers, all the places that he wasn't able to be a good NFL quarterback, but he was amazing in college. And if you actually look at the Oregon Ducks teams that he was on, those were the best Duck teams of all time. Like if you actually look at how many NFL players came out of the Joey Harrington era, we had guys come out of the secondary, the linebackers, the O-line, the running backs, everything. It's like Joey Harrington, Maurice Morris from the Seahawks, Ontario Smith when he went to the Vikings, Keenan Howery, Sammy Parker. Like, we had guys on the line, defensive players as well. Wesley Mallard, Kevin Moretti. Then we had Keith Mitchell. And then we had like guys in the secondary that went all in the NFL. And that was the only time where our secondary had an NFL player at every spot, like Patrick Chung, Walter Thurman III. Like we didn't have guys that were, oh my God, but they were NFL players, and we had 4 of them, all in the secondary. And then I remember as we got older and those guys left, we had guys like fucking Stephen Moore that was like 5'1", and he gave up everything. So I always appreciated those good times. But to me, the best Duck team of all time was the Joey Harrington, 2001 in Colorado. If you look at the quality of that team and who we had, how many NFL players, I think player for player, that was Oregon's best team of all time. We were special. We would have played Miami and lost, but we were number 2 all year, and we got robbed. And we played Colorado, beat the shit out of them. We would have beat the shit out of Nebraska too. It's just that Miami, had Jeremy Shockey and Ken Dorsey. They were just a little bit better, had more NFL players. Nobody was beating that fucking Miami team. But we finished number 2, but that was the best team we've ever had. Love me some Joey. That's actually probably I like the LaMichael because I customized it with the name on the back and the and I got the patch, from the national championship, from eBay, and then I took it to a seamstress. So that was like my favorite one besides the Herbert. But that Joey Harrington Stone one is really special. Favorite college football player of all time from the Ducks or just in general? For me, probably, I mean, offense, Michael Vick and Johnny Football. Absolutely. I mean, guys that made me want to watch Virginia Tech. I had no fucking desire to watch Virginia Tech. Then fucking Michael Vick shows up. I'm watching every fucking game, and I'm just getting excited. Like, hell yeah. And then Johnny Football for me, too. And Mike Evans was there. So I was like, oh, this is amazing. You know, but it was really more about Johnny Football than it was about Mike Evans until you got, into the NFL and then you started to realize, oh, someone was making those big plays for Johnny. Oh shit, that was Mike Evans. Not every time, but a lot of them were Mike Evans making those big clutch catches. And I'll never forget them going into Alabama and winning. That shit was awesome. Like it gave us hope that someone other than Alabama could fucking win something. Lefty quarterback, smooth, Michael Vick. Righty, short quarterback that had swagger, and obviously made some bad decisions and whatnot, but just wanted to party and be a college kid, but just so happened to be great at football, but cared more about partying and girls instead. Yeah, Michael Vick, Johnny Football. I remember, Barry Sanders, Oklahoma State, Emmett Smith at Florida, you know, Derek Brooks, Florida State, Warren Sapp from the U. There's a lot. Charles Woodson, Michigan, Champ Bailey, Georgia. Fucking Ed Reed, the U. Paul Amalo, USC. Reggie Bush, USC. D'Anthony Thomas, LaMichael. Oh, I love me some LaMichael James and D'Anthony. Joe Montana, Notre Dame. Bo Jackson, Auburn. Your all-time favorite college football players? You, Matt Payton. Matt Payton loves Matt Payton. 36-30. Who in the hell thought this game would be a three-point game? At least you guys have someone to watch TV with. Most people don't. Like, some people are just up. It's cool to be able to watch things together. Especially when it ends up being good, not 36-0 Colorado, and we're talking about food or whatever, and I'm doing photos the whole time, and I can actually call and watch the game. 3rd down and 5, big play here for Stanford. Oh, good heart. Wow, first down, Stanford Cardinal. I won't lie. If I wasn't streaming tonight, I'd be watching Dexter or walking the dog or exercising or who knows, reading or looking at my fantasy app or whatever. But it's nice to be able to vibe with you guys and hang out, and it's a part of our routine now. I have a routine, that I do every day, and you guys are a part of that. So, I feel all fucked up when I'm not recording, unless I'm sick or have mental health problem. Sometimes it's you need to be able to try to make money and try to get subs and views, and sometimes you need to take a break, but you can't afford it, or you want to be able to be in a rhythm and be in a grind. But I think it's kind of like therapy, vibing, and then we can also just hang out, and talk. Good vibes. Look at Stanford. Motherfucker throwing passes like Andrew Luck. Give the chains. Really good game. I'm glad there was a game to do because I was like, okay, baseball, there's no game. We're fucked unless I take the day off. And then I scrolled and looked at the 3 games, and I was like, ooh, Colorado, absolutely. Shiloh. But I got to exercise. I'm addicted to exercise. That's a better addiction to have. You can have addiction to a lot of other things, beer and food and all kinds of other bad stuff. But you get addicted to exercise. Oh my. But Paisley makes that possible. If I didn't have Paisley, you know, I'd be a fat ass. I would not be in a good place. You got to push yourself. But once you do it for like 3 weeks straight, 4 weeks straight, it becomes a part of you. But much easier when you have a dog that needs it. So, American Staffordshire Terriers and Pitties, they need like an hour to an hour and a half every day, or they're like not okay. And then they start ripping shit up or acting up. But she gets a lot of attention from dad, and we spend all our time together. So I like going on adventures too. It's good to get outside, especially when I'm grinding on here all the time. It's good to be able to smell that fresh air and just walk out there in nature. Good tackle. Nice tackle by the Buffs. It's almost 1 a.m. Yeah. It's all good. Hang out with your boy. More people should. And I'm glad that you mentioned that too when like Cyber was in the room. Because like I said, for some of the mods, like I get it if some people like don't want to show up if they can't donate or whatever. But if we can just get into a routine of people just showing up, even if it's just a little bit, or just to say what's up, I gotta go, but what's up, instead of just not showing up for like weeks or months, it's like, especially when we already hit 20,000 subs. I mean, we're trying to keep things moving momentum wise, It's not like we're at 20 subs, we're at over 20,000. 20,000, not just 20. It's almost 1 a.m. here. Seriously, Elliot, you know what I mean? It's like holding people accountable. It's like, oh, I can't like this post, even though people are doing it. It's all personal choice. People can choose to do what they want to do, where they want to go, and what's done. It's like liking a post. You look at something, right, and it's good. Like we're going to overtime, unbelievable. 36. But like you look at a post, you watch a video, and then you scroll a couple, go back, watch it again, know you should like it, and then still sometimes in our brain we're like, no, fuck that. I'm not going to give a like to this for whatever reason, even though you should, So if you're already like that when you're watching something that's incredibly dope, why the hell are you going to do it for other things, unless people really do support you? So I mean, anyone can make excuses, but it's like you have the choice to like a post or put a thumbs up or to stop in or to make a message or make a phone call. And, if you got 24 hours in a fucking day, something that actually takes 2 seconds to do. I don't got any time all day, or during like a 3 or 4 hour stream. Like, me too. I like to be positive, I like to be able to show love, instead of being that person that just is very stingy with their like or their heart or whatever, it's like acting like whatever they do is like the most sacred thing on earth, you know. People are like that way with subs on YouTube too. Like it's the most sacred thing that I need to have your sub, or if I can't have it, it's sacred. People are so weird. No haterade for you, bro. Oh, I took Paisley for a walk and I found an NFL football today. I was just chilling in the park. So your boy got a new football. And I held it like a running back with Paisley all the way home. This game is in overtime when it was 29-0. Seriously, you know what I mean? Like every level, it's like okay, like showing up and then liking a stream and then sharing a stream, commenting on a stream, donating to a stream. But it's like you get people that will like do like the bare minimum, like they'll like subscribe, but they never comment. They never let you know that they're there. It's like this like spying and shit, you know, like there's no conversation. You don't even know who's there or who's not. No donos, no conversations, no vibe. Like just straight spying, you know. Like I need to get some good material for Good Morning Football. Let's see what fucking Orion's talking about. That motherfucker crazy. He reads a lot. He watches a lot of film. I don't want to do any research of my own. I'll watch him for a half hour. Boom. I got 4 topics for the show for tomorrow. Short game. Yeah, I find it very weird how they treat, you know, like each level of what it is, you know, Instagram or Twitter X or Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, like how people interact and like, you know, like their way of thinking of things. But also too, you know, I feel like on YouTube and Twitch, there's a lot of people that are on, not everyone, but there's a lot of people that are on YouTube and Twitch that are like incredibly lonely. Like, you know, like very, very lonely. Some people in good mental health, some people not, you know, but there's a lot of like you know, I feel followers rather than leaders, you know. And I don't want to say that you know there's going to be like sheep, but there's definitely going to be people that are just like following other people, like acting like a sheep. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, not really taking in what is good, but just going where things are popular. You know, on either Twitch or YouTube instead of like looking, just try to find maybe a vibe instead of just going somewhere where they already have like 200,000 subs and you don't even know anything about the person, you know, or anything about it. They all you know is they're popular, and then that earn your sub. You know, with like you know, but I guess everyone's different, right? All the people that took CU lost a shitload of money, and maybe that's why they did the thing because they thought, well, maybe Colorado's defense plays really, really bad, and Stanford plays really, really good. Like you got to think if you're like 1-4, and Oregon demolished you, and you have a top 4 defense in the Pac-12. Now you're going against a defense that's just as bad as yours, maybe worse, Colorado, right? So if you're Stanford, you're like, well, we couldn't score on Oregon, but we're gonna fucking score on this team. I don't give a shit if we're on the road or not. And then they overachieved and then they kind of shot themselves in the foot, lost the momentum. Colorado got some sack lunches, and then now we're in fucking overtime. Touchdown, Buffalo. That's why sports betting is so crazy, where it's like something that looks like a for sure thing. You have to dig deeper. Do you trust Colorado's defense? And if the answer is no, then probably don't bet on the game. And a lot of people are like, I don't give a fuck. Shador, they're going to blow them out. They're Stanford, Cardinal, not Cardinals, right? 1-4. We won. We'll win by 10 or more. And then it's fucking 29-0. How the fuck is it 36? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Extra point is up. And it's good. 43-36. Touchdown. God damn. Your boy's hungry. It's like 11 at night. God damn it. Your boy's hungry. Almost 4 hours. Golly. But this is why you push, you know, and like as far as like dreams and stuff, I could have took a fucking day off. You know what I mean? But I want to soak in like Shador Sanders because I know I'm not going to see it that much if he goes in the draft this year, or maybe I'll get to see him one more year next year. But I want to soak in all of this. That's what makes you a better evaluator in sports. You have better takes, you have a better understanding, you know, compared to people that only watch their own team. You have to be able to watch and gauge talent early, and then you'll be smarter. You're not going to be an idiot if you watch, you know, fucking 5 college football games a weekend and, you know, 4 or 5 on the NFL side compared to someone that watches 1 game a week, you know, or 2. I like watching film. I like being able to evaluate players. You know, like it's my favorite thing besides reading. I like reading, keeping up on what's going on. You know, obviously in the sports world and around the globe. Well, I like to be able to evaluate, watch players, and be able to predict and give you my takes and my ESP, you know? Wow! On his back! I've seen one catch like that where the guy pinned it on the guy's back or chest and like he held on to it. Look at this again. This is one of the best catches of the year. Look at this. And he catches it on his back and on his helmet and he rips it off his shoulder pad. Oh, that was sick. See, and if you guys would have went to sleep and I would have skipped this game, we wouldn't have saw that. You literally saw one of the best plays of the year at 1 o'clock at night on a Friday night, hanging out with O-Dog. Oh my! This will be on all the Twitter, X, and Instagram in the morning. Like, after you guys went to sleep, did you see the catch of the year? Wow! You remember that catch? Like it was going downfield, and then you like caught it like on his chest, like in front of him, or it was on his back, like they were facing each other, and he had it on his back, and then fell down, but still had the ball pinned on the guy's back, shoulder blades or whatever, with the ball, and he still hung on, and it was actually a catch. So this one, he was like on the shoulder pad, and he was able to rip it. The other one was better because the guy actually had it in his hands. He couldn't really see the football; he could just feel it, and then the impact of the other guy landing on top of him, but still hanging on by catching the ball across over his body, like hugging him, and then getting it pinned on his back, but having strong enough fingers not to let go after the impact. I mean, golly. You can look it up on YouTube if you haven't seen it in a while. But that's really ironic that that happened because I actually saw that highlight like just like a week ago, and like I hadn't seen it in like a year or two, and then all of a sudden I see it a week ago, and then now we get this crazy. See, that's why sports is so awesome. That it's like if you aren't lazy and you put in the grind and the time that other people are not willing to put in, the sports gods promise will honor that grind, right? And give you something sometimes magical that only we got to see live. No one will ever be able to take that away. That was awesome. That's probably the catch of the year, one of the. And imagine if Stanford comes back and then that play will be replayed over and over. Like the collapse of Colorado. And did you see Stanford's catch of the year? These guys suck. They're 1-4, but they're playing like they're 4-1 tonight. Golly, I love college football, man. Love it. Sanders, first down, Shador. Shador, fade route. Oh, he caught it though. Just couldn't get his foot in. Oh, Paisley's coming in, and she's like, "Daddy, Dad." She's like, "Dad, it's been like 4 hours. I love you, miss you so much." Come here, come here, Dad. Come here, Dad. Oh. Flag on the play. Yeah, it's almost done. 13 catches, 3 TDs, 294 yards. Is that good? Friday night games usually deliver, man. Sometimes on paper, a game looks like it's going to be absolutely like terrible, right? And then you end up getting a masterpiece like this. You just never thought that Stanford would be able to keep up, and Colorado's defense would go that bad for this to happen. And then you end up getting some magic on top of that too, like that catch. I'll remember that forever. Oh, I got to go to the stat page. The Rick Ross package. Oh, 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 oh. Rick Ross package. Oh, good tackle. Elick. Ayomana. God damn. 15 receptions, 207 yards, 1 TD, 13.8 average. And then this game, 12 receptions, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh my God. Yeah, the game of his life. 3 tutties, 300 yards almost. Intercepted. Uh-oh. Stanford's going to beat him. Wow, Stanford's going to win. Uh-oh. Stanford with the win, and they're going to talk about that catch that sparked that momentum. Wow. Colorado at home is going to lose in double overtime to fucking 1-4 Stanford. It's like it's one thing to beat TCU and then everyone got on the hype train, right? But then when you started seeing like Nebraska and then Oregon, you're like, uh-oh. Like when they played the good teams, they got smacked, and now you're playing a bad team and you're losing to a bad team. That's not good. It shows you how far that Colorado program has to go. The hype was real in their first 2 weeks, but now it's like a slap in the face where you're like, okay, like Deion is popular, but that can only take it so far. You can't mask all the weaknesses that you have, like that goddamn defense, which is terrible. How the hell you lose to Stanford when you're up 29-0? One of the greatest comebacks in college football history, and we saw one of the greatest catches tonight while you're just sitting there when you could be watching Superbad or fucking Shameless and you're watching fucking Colorado with dog. No one else streamed this motherfucking game. Everyone else is goddamn sleeping or drinking. But your boy. We'll remember this one, Elliot. Sports is about making memories and also remembering where you were when you watched the game, who you were watching with. Can't believe that shit, dude. Oh my God, Stanford is about to win. Unbelievable. 29-0 at half. 43. It's going to be 46-43 Stanford. Unbelievable. All right, Stanford. Shake your tree. I started this fucking stream at like 7. What the hell? So you just acknowledged something that I needed information on. Thank you. Here it is. To win the game, Joshua Cardi. Mario Kart, that son of a bitch. Right down the middle. Kick is up, and he made it. Oh, they won. There it is. 40. He almost missed it too. And it shows you Dion. Yeah, Shador is Shador, but the offensive line stinks and that defense stinks, and you just lost to a 1-4 team. So then anything that you did with like TCU gets erased now. Like that start that you had at the beginning of the year doesn't even matter anymore. Hype train over. But we're still happy for Colorado, Dion bringing awareness to college football. But all those people that thought that they were going to win the Pac-12, ridiculous. You're not USC, you're not UW, you're not Oregon, and apparently you're not even Stanford. So I thought he was going to miss it. I was like, oh shit! As soon as it went off his leg, I was like, oh no, oh no! And then I had to wait, and then it went right into the crossbar. For a second after it went through the crossbar, I thought they said he missed it, but and also the people that watch this game at halftime and turn it off, will never be able to experience what we experienced. Matt, Elliot, Joda, memories, man. Especially late. I mean, hell, it's 11:11. For some of y'all, it's 1:11 or 2:11. And I got to do the fucking Duck game in like 12 hours. So 13 hours. Wow, that was sweet. This is one of the coolest games that could have been absolutely terrible. It actually turned into a game that I'll remember for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? You normally you would not give a shit about Colorado Stanford, let alone on a Friday night. But if you watch this game, you'll be like, oh wow, like that one random matchup that you remember. Unbelievable comeback. Well, fucking hey, man, I need to eat dinner and walk my dog and do all that. You guys are the fucking best. I love you and I appreciate you very, very much. Stanford, huh? With the tree. Couldn't find a spinning logo or a side-to-side logo from Colorado. Maybe that was a sign. Transparent image, but nothing like that. Wow. 46-43 in double overtime. Stanford Cardinal. Not Cardinals, Cardinal. Awesome. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you for stepping up while Sarah is gone. Elliot, Matt, appreciate you guys, as well as Judah. And I will be back tomorrow at around 12:15 for the Oregon Ducks versus the Washington Huskies for the Pac-12 supremacy. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.